right, everybody. Here's another episode of Geeks That Lift where we are covering Endgames. Okay, this one, my peeps, is spoilers alert. Spoilers. If you have not seen the movie, press fucking stop right now. And
Is there
get
a
your ass to
fucking
the
stop button?
There is a fucking
There's
stop
a
button.
pause.
It says fucking stop.
And get your ass to the theaters now. I am one of your hosts, the freaking Rican, followed by
Oh, coconut. You know what? It's a special edition. It's a special episode. It's a special spoilers-filled episode. So I'm going to do it. How do you spell it? How do you spell coconut? Hold on. I'll tell you. Uppercase K, lowercase o. Uppercase K, lowercase o. Hyphen. Don't you ever fucking forget that hyphen. Uppercase K, lowercase and lowercase u. Uppercase T, exclamation point. Coconut. What's up, guys?
I thought you were going to go into how do you spell it? Avengers.
And
would've been too long.
if you did not catch our previous episode, we are joined by a special guest, okay, our white IT guy.
Hello. I'm
Yeah.
here.
What's up? That's
He's-
Pat.
He's in
For
the
the
studio
people
with
that
us.
listen to our other, or my other, oh no,
Podcast.
our, yeah, because Pat's in
Podcast.
it.
Yeah, Pat's in it.
Podcast territorial. That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's it. Now, this one is spoilers, so we can talk as free as the fuck we want.
Spoilers,
Okay.
spoilers,
Now.
spoilers.
The one thing I was talking about that I had a gripe
Oh, you're
with.
going right into
I'm going right into it.
Going right into it?
I'm going right into it.
All right, let's
Because
not
it's
act like
been-
we just recorded the episode 5 minutes ago. Okay.
It's been gnawing at me because it is a big, they skipped an arc. Like in the comic books of Civil War, Captain America dies. Bucky takes up the mantle of Captain America.
Yes.
Current times, Falcon is Captain America.
He's one of them.
One of them.
Yes.
But they just give him the shield. Like, what the fuck happened to Bucky? Like, they
So-
just skipped that whole.
So that
like,
was your gripe?
That for me was, again, I
didn't
didn't say it
even-
wasn't a big one.
I kind of felt like that too, but the thing is, you have to remember they have the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show coming.
Yeah,
Coming up, yeah.
And on top of that, Bucky kind of gives them the nod.
He does?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like
He's like, go ahead.
this is, I think, because going into this movie, wow, we skipped right to the fucking end.
I was going to say, what the fuck? Wow.
Going
We're gonna
in-
Tarantino this shit and go
Yeah.
backwards? All right.
Going into this movie, they were the two candidates.
Yes.
Literally,
Yes.
to be the next Captain America. And that was, I think, literally the Russo brothers going, here's your two. Here's the winner, essentially.
Well, and again, I think to keep things current of what's going on in the comic books too. And as I said, I
And also,
get it.
Bucky wasn't capped for that long.
He wasn't
He
because they
wasn't.
brought Steve Rogers back.
Yeah.
So-
So he, that and like, he didn't also, he took up the mantle. He
Yes.
wasn't given it. Whereas Falcon was given it.
Yeah.
So I did kind of think it was interesting that the final thing that Cap says to anybody is to Sam and not Bucky,
Yeah.
because that's literally been, if not his plot A, his plot B through every
Everything was Bucky.
single movie. So I kind of had like a Leia hugging Rey moment at the end of
Yeah.
Force Awakens instead of Chewie.
But that's why again, for me, it was like, okay, I would think Bucky seeing him, Bucky would have gone over to him and
gone,
you
"Hey,
know, and hey Steve, but I was like, okay, I get why they're doing it.
But I also
understand.
think it was kind of Bucky going like he recognized what was happening. He knew
Yes.
Steve better than most.
Yes.
And and Ben better than anybody, with the exception of maybe Black Widow.
Mhm.
And it's just like he recognizes like, go ahead, like this is
Like, do it. This is your thing.
this is for
You
you.
deserve it.
I'm sure after he was done talking to Sam, him and Bucky had a chit chat.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it wasn't like it was there was no chance like he died immediately afterwards. Like
Yeah.
it was just like, okay, like this was his moment.
Yeah.
What makes me curious is the fact that since that was the second to last scene of the movie, is Falcon going to be the leader of the Avengers going forward?
Well, according to Kevin Feige, the person who's going to be kind of like the lead character now, like Iron Man was, is going to be Captain Marvel.
She's never there.
This
She's
fucking
always,
bitch.
She's always gone.
You
She
know
was
what?
gone through the entire movie, and I get
We
why.
know my thoughts on fucking Captain Marvel. I think she's fucking useless. And she's and according to Kevin Feige, she's the most powerful,
That why
being
Thanos punched
in
her
the
halfway
MCU.
across the fucking.
But he used the Power Stone to do it.
Which
But-
I'm glad that they did kind of beat her up a bit. Like, oh,
Yeah,
the whole point of Thanos is that no single Avenger can beat him.
correct.
In the comics,
Scarlet Witch almost tore him to pieces.
but the thing is, she
But-
still at some point there was
Yeah.
the ending. Like he got lucky. In
Yeah.
the comics, like there was even a recent battle with them where Cap, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and God knows who else all went toe to toe with him, and every single one of them got beat.
Yeah.
Every single one of
Yeah.
them. And that's what the whole point is. Like, it was the dread of them going up against somebody they can't beat. They have to come, they have to assemble.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, there is a whole bunch of characters who can take him on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and the only thing that saves him is essentially chance. Like, something
Yeah.
happens that prevents them from being like Scarlet Witch literally is tearing his armor off piece by piece.
Yeah.
She's doing it fucking slow.
I'm telling you,
Yeah, she
she's
was.
dragging that
like,
knife.
Everyone's like, you took everything from me. I was like, whoo,
And
get
then,
him, bitch.
and then Marvel shows up and she does her fly through the ship thing, which was for a moment I was like, oh my god, is that Adam Warlock?
That would have been awesome.
I would have.
That would've been
I would
awesome.
have gotten kicked out because I would have jumped out of my
I
seat.
would. I was really hoping
Yeah.
he was going to be in this. I had very little to no hope, but I was.
Well, I kept thinking because then there was a part when water was coming up, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is Namor coming out in this fucking movie
Oh
too?
God, I hope not.
They even,
I was
they,
like-
even
It wasn't.
they have reference him a little bit in this one too.
Well, if you go back to
In the briefing.
Oh, you're
Iron
talking about in the
Man.
briefing scene.
Yeah.
When they're talking about the earthquakes under the water.
And
And
That- but it
Black
also-
Widow was like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And Okoye was like, "You just let it be."
yeah.
it's like how many miles underwater? Fuck
Yeah.
it. Like,
But
Yeah.
even if you
Just
go
leave
back
it
to
alone.
when Tony Stark is talking with Nick Fury about the whole Avengers thing.
Yeah.
And in the back there are the spots that he
Yeah,
has. where the
and
Avengers,
Atlantis is
there's
one of them.
one in the sea with a circle.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, if you look in the background, you see one right in the middle of the sea.
Huh.
And
that was
I'm
actually
like,
the first
oh,
time they
okay.
referenced Wakanda too,
That was
because
the
there's
first-
one
yes.
in Africa
Yes.
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So is that? But man,
That fucking movie. No, now can we?
Can we?
can
we start from the beginning now?
Yeah, we'll start from the beginning.
Since
We'll-
we went to,
I have,
we
to,
went-
I have to get that out. I have to
Fuck,
get that
do
out.
you feel a little better?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Jesus
I do.
Christ.
I do.
Again, this is the AA's
I do.
Avengers Anonymous. Like,
This
let's
is
work
Avengers
this out.
Anonymous.
I got that out.
Well, all right, back to the beginning. Man, they finally watched how it should have ended and like read every internet comment ever on how to beat
Oh,
Thanos because they
good
immediately
God.
just grabbed him and shook. There goes that arm. Like they,
which they did in every other Marvel movie. That's like a staple.
They pretty
The
much.
cutting off of the arm.
yeah, like they just went right for it, and then fucking finally went for the head.
I liked the
So good.
the tension that they kept with Tony Stark and Captain America when he was like, again, when he's like, I told you that, we needed a safety net around the earth, that was the end game. What did you, I said we'd lose. You said we'd lose together. Well, we lost. And he was like,
And-
fuck you. I don't want anything to do with this fucking place.
But the thing is, he immediately goes to blaming everybody else.
yeah, 100%.
Like, and I can't. I'm totally stealing this from somebody else's movie review, but he actually reverts to his pre-Iron Man Tony Stark. Like he goes
When he
straight
was-
up like, I
yeah.
give a fuck
He was
about the
just a
world.
dick. I just care
like,
about myself.
This is me, and
Yep.
he completely shut himself off. Like he actually reverted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was interesting to hear him say like, I lost a kid. Like
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, of course, that was
and,
his
and
biggest-
Steve is
Yeah.
and Steve's like, well, we both did, man.
Yeah.
And
We
everybody's
lost
just
everybody.
like everybody's trying to like help him out, but he's just like, no. It was interesting, and then he gives the line is like, we're the Avengers. We do our best work afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
the pre-Avengers.
Yeah, we're not the pre-Vengers.
And it's like that's a good point, but it was. I feel like that was kind of his. It was definitely everybody's lowest moment. Was that
Mhm.
first
Oh, yeah.
act? Like that
I mean,
was.
look at the way the movie starts with Hawkeye, because nobody
Oh,
saw Hawkeye.
God.
Nobody saw Hawkeye in a video in Infinity War.
Nope.
like
and-
they cut to that, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna.
As
do
soon
this
as they
now.
showed him, I was like, oh,
I was already
like,
this is gonna be
oh.
it.
This is how they start.
This is what
Before
turns
the
them into
fucking
Ronin.
Opening movie starts. Before the Avengers
Yeah,
starts,
man.
that's how they start the movie.
Listen, it goes into two downers. It goes into the first downer was that with just his family turning into dust after the snap.
And they don't even show them going to dust.
They
He
don't.
turns around and he
Yeah,
comes
they're
back.
like,
you
and
see a
gone.
little bit. You see a
You see, and if
little
you're
bit.
paying
yeah.
attention,
Yeah.
I was starting to look for it. Like, did you act it? Oh,
Oh,
fuck!
yep, there it is, right by the tree.
Yep.
And then they don't even show their dust. They're like, that
No.
was
No.
it, and they're just gone.
Yep.
And you can hear the thunder in the background, and it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, like the dude sitting next to me was just like, oh,
Yeah. And it was the Thunder too from Infinity War.
Yep.
Because Infinity War, after he did the snap,
'Cause they went around
Okoye was when Black Panther was disintegrating and
Yeah.
she was there. You heard the thunder in the
Yep.
background. It's just crazy, like the way that what they did with this movie, how like they connected everything into the previous movies, and even, and I gotta say, I know we're going in order now, but I can't fucking believe that this fucking movie made me appreciate Thor: The Dark World.
Dude, I love how
this is the movie that I think is the worst Marvel movie next to Captain Marvel. That I like.
I think
Captain Marvel ranked one spot above.
they
Dark
totally
World.
did that on purpose.
They must have done that on purpose because fuck, man.
Well, they
I
had to
hated- I
recap
hated
the
Dark
entire
World.
movie because they know nobody watched
Yeah,
it or
if you
remembered
didn't watch
it.
Nobody remembered it. Like it made me care. Like I want to watch it again, just to see all that shit. It was ridiculous. And on top of that, they brought Natalie Portman back?
Yeah.
Like what?
That's up for debate.
Did they? She
that's-
showed up at the premiere.
She showed up in the premiere just because I think she was in the movie. There's actually things going around like that was just actually leftover footage.
Oh, no
shit!
shit.
Because you never actually see Rocket take the stone
You're
from
right.
her.
Yeah.
You're right.
It
you're
cuts
right.
away,
You're right.
and that's it. That's the last time you see her.
And then they show her in the credits too, at the end credits.
yeah, but
So-
that's when they're showing fucking everybody in the end credits.
Everybody. And then we got that. You know. Then after that, they showed the title. Did they show the title? No, they go right to space.
Yep.
And then the scene that we saw in the trailer with Robert Downey Jr. with Tony Stark talking
Mhm.
into the Iron Man helmet. Then you find out that Nebula's with him.
Which
you know,
we saw in the trailers too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Really? I don't remember
yeah.
seeing
No,
Nebula
you
in the
see them
trailers.
fixing the ship, and then you see in the more recent one, you actually see her putting the jacket on.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, he was on his last hours. Then he gets fucking saved by.
Like Captain Marvel.
To be
everybody's
fair, if
favorite
anybody's
hero.
gonna save him,
It's gonna be him.
it's gonna be
which is fine and
I was
dandy.
totally fine with that. The one
Everybody
thing,
thought that it was gonna be Pepper Potts.
that would have been kind of weird
Yeah,
because he's
yeah.
way the fuck out there.
Yeah,
If
he is.
anybody's gonna save him, it's gonna be her.
Yeah.
Which make that like
because
that,
she would know all the
like they'd
places
be like,
to look,
okay, where the
probably.
hell was he? He
Yeah,
was here.
yeah.
Like let's go fucking get him. Like and she it makes sense. That
Yeah.
that fit her character.
No, it made sense, and I like that the end credit scene from Captain Marvel wasn't a part of Endgame.
Yeah,
Like this
yeah.
scene where she was like, "Where's
it was a
Fury?"
prequel to the fucking movie.
It was a
Yeah.
prequel. Yes,
Yes.
exactly. And I like that. So you already knew. If you watch Captain Marvel, you knew, because I'm sure most people, if they didn't see Captain Marvel, the one or two people that didn't, were like, how the fuck she know where he was?
Exactly.
You
No,
had to watch
that-
the end credit scene.
that it kind of confused me at first because she was there before him. So that means she
Yeah.
had to have gone to Earth and then gone back. But
Yes.
once I kind of wrapped my head
Yes.
around, like, oh, okay, all right, fair
Yep.
enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that fit well. I'm glad that they did they just look at each other and she's like, "Sup, man," and then that's
Mhm.
it. Like they didn't have like a glorious moment. It was just
Yeah.
like, all right, let's get you home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
and
Yeah.
that's it. Like I don't think there's that much talking, with the exception of Tony and Nebula.
No, there isn't.
the
I mean,
first,
there's that
5
cool scene.
minutes.
Yeah, there's that cool scene where they're playing the
The
table
fo-
football,
yeah.
the paper football game.
She's
and,
like, Isaac, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. Which, oh my God, Nebula's character arc in this movie.
so
If
good.
I had ever
So
thought that
good.
Nebula's going to be one of the main characters
Uh-huh.
of anything,
yeah.
which makes, I was waiting for her to fucking.
Well,
shoot
yeah.
that
Well, she
thing
does
on
in
there.
the comics.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Yeah.
that, but I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad that she has like a final full
Mm-hmm.
good arc.
Yeah.
She's a
that-
total story arc, which is awesome. I mean, that's another one of those characters that from the first Guardians of the Galaxy through Endgame,
It's grown.
She grew. She went from one, she was totally evil and went into totally redeemed herself, and in essence becoming an Avenger. And it was good. And fucking Carol Gilliam played it.
Yeah.
awesome.
Man, she
Awesome.
did such a fan. She was. I think there was honestly 3 main characters. In this movie was Nebula.
Mhm.
Like Nebula's 2, Tony's 3, fucking Cap's number 1. Cap
Okay.
is the main character of this movie.
Yeah.
Like even at the very end where it's just fucking just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's we'll go on to that. But
But even Thor though, Thor had a good.
Thor had a good arc too.
Listen, the thing with Thor, it showed you know what
that
got me?
poor man.
He beat like okay,
Poor
what he
man.
did to Thanos. What did
Yeah.
you do? I took his advice.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like,
went for the head.
I went for the head.
But you can
that
hear
fucked
him
up.
break.
Yeah,
You can
that fucked
hear him
up.
break
Yeah.
as he like
Yeah.
I went for the head
Yeah.
and he walks out.
Yeah.
And like that's the last you see of like that's fuck man. He's
Which basically
had-
just shows that all hope is lost.
well
pretty
that
much,
his
you know?
especially for him like fucking Ragnarok just happened. He lost Asgard.
Yeah.
He lost half of what he already
he
lost.
half Asgard.
And then
his
he
brother.
lost
He lost
his
his hammer.
brother
He lost his
again.
father.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
within
His
at
mother.
that point, what, a month?
Pretty much. You got to think of that.
Yeah.
It takes place 23 days after Infinity War, so
Yeah.
which takes place right the fuck after Ragnarok.
Pretty much.
So this dude's gotten emotionally beaten,
Yeah.
and you just hear him just break.
Just broke. I mean, it was just even the scene before they even found Thanos when he's just sitting there.
Yep.
And
He says
Captain
one
Marvel's
line.
like, what's wrong with him? Or, what's up with him? And Rocket Raccoon's like, he blames himself.
He's pissed.
He should,
pissed.
but
But there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah.
that was a cool
I'm-
scene.
What especially gets a good point is bringing that up is nobody else except for Tony was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
Tony was the only one who went, it was you. He blamed, totally blamed Cap.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I kind of I'm still trying to wrap my head around why, like, of all the, like, he'd kind of gotten to the point where he was a team player.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you go back to Age of Ultron, remember, he told Cap, he's like, we can bust drug dealers all the live long day. And he goes, but up there, that's the end game.
But the thing is, the way
So
that he was,
knew that
Yeah.
their biggest challenge or their biggest threat was going to come from outer space.
but I'm going to
Ever
say
since
that
the events
he
in New
wasn't
York.
the only one to think that. He was the only one who was going to,
He was the only
he
one
was
who
the
was going
only-
to take the steps to avoid that
in his own way,
in his own way.
own way.
Exactly.
which ended up being more problematic than they were.
Exactly.
Which it leads to an interesting, like, it's a catch-22. Like, everything he did was for the greater good, but
Mhm.
I mean, Christ, Ultron, then
Mhm.
the Civil War, like,
Mhm.
everything he did was actually pulling everybody back.
But also keep in mind, though, Tony was always having those premonitions and those dreams of him surviving and everybody
else
dead
dying.
around him.
But that was leading into his own emotional state.
Yeah.
Like, he then reacted and acted on those emotions as opposed to stopping and thinking through.
Yeah.
Like, then you look at Cap in that same movie who had, like, a fucking shell shock. He even says, like, I don't trust anybody with the dark side, because Cap
Mm-hmm.
takes it and he fucking bats it down
Yeah.
and then moves on because he doesn't want it to cloud. Like, somebody about Civil War had an amazing point. He's like, on Iron Man's side, everybody in that movie reacts on their emotions.
Yes.
Something happens, gut reaction. Like, there's
Yeah.
obviously the Tony himself going it, Natasha going like, well, this is kind of how I'm feeling right now.
Mhm.
Fucking
Panther.
Vision. Like, the first time he felt emotion ever.
Yeah.
And whereas on Cap's side, it's like, this isn't right. We know
Mhm.
this isn't right. Let's look back at the fucking history.
Yep.
Wait, the same people who are now in charge of us were trying to shoot a nuke
Yep.
at Manhattan. Maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And then they reacted accordingly. The only downside of that was he was trying to save Bucky too,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is also an emotional reaction.
That
But he
was
also is
emotional.
going, you didn't do it. I know
Mhm.
you didn't do it.
It didn't add up to him. So.
We need to figure this out.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that goes into this, whereas like everybody had moved on from the emotion part.
Mm-hmm.
Tony hadn't, and he still hadn't 5 years later when it cuts
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and that's what I liked about it too, because after
That
after
time
they
jump
fucking
got me.
chopped fucking Thanos' head, I'm
Shook.
like, what the fuck? What are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like, it
That's
was weird,
literally,
man.
literally the poster in the A meeting is
Yeah.
just like, now that they're gone, what do we do?
Yeah.
And it's
It
just
was
like,
so strange.
yeah, you're not wrong. What the fuck do we
What
do
we
now?
waited for happened in the first 15, 20 minutes of
Yes.
the movie.
And it happened. It was literally every internet comment about Infinity War. It's like,
it-
why didn't they
that's
cut off
what-
his arm? Why didn't he go for the head? Well, they fucking did.
Well, they did. They did. They
They
cut off
did
his arm and his
real
fucking
hard.
head. And, oh my god, it was good. Yeah. Then we cut to like the 5 years later. And
That's
the
when you
support
felt
group.
that like, ugh.
Yeah, everything was a downer.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool that Captain America, Steve Rogers, took over the support group that Falcon was doing. Introduced, the big deal was they introduced like the first gay character in the MCU.
Yeah, which was
is
Joe Russo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that support group also
Was
there
the
a character,
writer.
Jim Starlin. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote
Mhm.
Infinity
And
Gauntlet.
fucking all the other ones.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he did so
All the big
many.
ones. Yeah. Infinity War, Infinity Watch, like all those he wrote. And it just goes from there. Then everybody's just such a downer. Now, as much of a Captain Marvel poo-pooer that I am, I kind of dug that we gotta look at her with
With her modern
the
look?
short hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
the modern
Modern
look with the short hair and the comic accurate costume.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I liked also how they totally hit that too, and then they
Yeah.
revealed it, and you're like, wait, what?
yeah.
That was cool.
And then
As a-
Rocket makes a joke about it.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get another haircut.
Yeah.
But you know what's a scene that for me, believe it or not, it's such a small scene. it's probably insignificant to anybody else who goes to watch it, but it kind of tells where people are at. Is when Ant-Man is walking in the streets and yells at the kid, and the kid just gives him this look. Like, you can see the pain and the suffering in the kid's face, and it's like, damn. Like, that scene kind of like grasps where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Not just the Avengers.
It's a good depth charge.
Exactly.
You get the exactly where everybody is.
Yeah, and a lot of people focus in the movie about the Avengers, but that scene showed
That's one of the few snapshots of the real world.
Exactly.
Of outside the team.
Exactly.
And they encapsulated essentially the rest of the population in that one kid.
Yes. Yes.
Now let's talk about a little bit, because you did mention Ant-Man.
Yes.
My one big gripe about this goddamn movie.
Really?
It's small, but it seemed to have bothered a lot of other people too. The way Ant-Man came back. He got rescued from the quantum realm
by a rat.
Come on, man. I know it's a comic book movie. I know we're supposed to suspend disbelief, but out of everything in this movie, everything was just so perfectly done in this movie. You mean to tell me that the way the fucking Ant-Man obviously ends up being the driving force and the guy that they need, the key player that they need to defeat Thanos and to get everybody back. The way he comes back is a fucking rat walks over the fucking keypad and activates the fucking time machine. Come on, man.
I feel like
in the movie, I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" Like I said that shit loud as hell.
They had to give you a little throwaway.
Remember, 14 million. 14 million possibilities.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe the rat didn't hit all the buttons on the 14 million other
fuck,
ones.
Man. That was it. Again, that was my one gripe.
Yeah.
Like one gripe.
You know what? My gripe with that movie is how the fuck the van get in storage?
How did all that shit get into storage?
Yeah.
How did they know that was?
It was just on the roof.
Did they know it was laying?
Yeah.
By the way, did you catch a little Easter egg on the sign in the storage unit, right on the chain link fence where his last name is at?
Yeah.
On the corner, there was the number. The number of the unit is 616.
Yeah, it's Marvel,
which is the Marvel universe that heroes exist in. So that was a cute little
the main line
Easter egg.
I didn't notice that.
And also, did you notice the cameo who the security guard was?
Yeah,
Ken Johnson. Yeah.
Community. There's like 3 Community people in this movie.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cameos and stuff. The Russos, obviously they cut their teeth on Community and on what was the one Arrested Development.
Yep.
So yeah, they
I like the Stan's little cameo.
The what?
Stan Lee's little cameo.
Yeah, his last cameo ever.
That was it. With the enough said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Him literally driving off into the sunset.
Yeah.
It's funny how once again they showed the emotional vulnerability of each one of the characters. They each had when they went back in time, you notice how they each had a moment.
Scarlett Johansson's scene, the PB&J scene. Wow, she stretched her acting muscles on that.
She did, man.
She did. She holding it together during the briefing. You can feel it under the surface, but everybody's got it underneath the surface right now. Yeah. And then when Steve comes in, you just see like the tears in the eyes.
Breakdown. Yeah.
She's eating a fucking depression sandwich.
It was just peanut butter, not even jelly.
What was the line? Like, yeah, I saw whales coming. Like, I swear to God, if you're saying look on the bright side, I'm going to hit you in the head with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I also like how one of the big running jokes for the first part of the movie is a fucking sandwich.
Yeah. When Scott Lang shows up,
it's like, anybody? I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, is that anybody sandwich over there? That was good. I mean, it was just what's funny too, and the thing that sucks is that a few months back, I read there. I was reading theories of what people think, what the movie was going to be, and what the plot of the movie was going to be. And like 4 months ago, I read a theory where they were talking about time travel.
Oh, that's been
that they were about that for a while. That they were going in the back. They were going to have to go into the past, and that the movie was going to comprise of key scenes from previous movies.
When they were filming the movie, they were throwing out because the thing that they have for the quantum GPS, like
quantum
he
said,
is similar to the time travel machine that Cable had in Deadpool on his hand.
Oh,
yeah, that's why they said
that was that. And also, they saw Cap in his Avengers uniform,
and
again,
they showed Tony Stark
talking to a modern Tony.
Yeah, in the shield uniform from the Battle in New York, and
Loki with the gag thing on there. I enjoyed seeing what happened after Avengers. Like, just the stuff that they don't normally show. Like, let's.
The funny part was when Cap was facing Cap.
Oh my God!
I can do this all day. Yeah.
It's just awesome how they were going at the end scene of Avengers where Loki's like,
Yeah.
I think I'll have that drink,
Yeah.
and then you see what happens afterwards. Like Pat said, and then just how they also did homages and did things based on previous scenes from previous movies.
The elevator.
Like
The elevator. They had
elevator.
Tony
Winter
Stark
Soldier.
jumping out the window.
yes.
Which is the same thing which he did, I think, in Avengers also.
In Avengers,
Yeah, he did
Well,
the
got
same
thrown
like
out the
free
window.
dive thing.
He got
Yeah.
thrown out the window by Loki.
Yes. And then the elevator scene was just awesome.
Yeah.
With the Hulk just stairs.
I
Always
hate
the stairs. And then I like also how they did, like, they set up shit like right there. That was one of the key scenes when they were trying to take the Tesseract, where they set up, I think they set up the Loki show.
Yeah.
The show that's going to be on Disney.
Yeah, because he got away.
he gets away with the Tesseract.
Yep.
So he never dies. So they set that up.
That was one of my notes. It's like, okay, what the fuck's he gonna
They're
do
showing.
now?
You know it's going to come up how the time travel.
But
always
the Loki
affects.
show is supposed to be in the past, so it's
Well, this
narrated.
scene was in the past.
Yeah, but like it's supposed. That's true. I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a thing I was gonna bleed into a little later on is like so. Infinity War is supposed to take place in 2018.
Yes.
Then it does a 5-year time jump.
Yes.
Does that mean from this point on, all the Marvel movies will be set in the future?
Who knows?
Because
Probably.
at this-
Yeah, it's going to have to be.
At this point, everyone's taking place in the year that they came out in.
Yeah.
So that means from now on, they're going to be.
It's going to have to be in the future, and they're not. And if they don't, then that's going to be a huge fucking plot hole.
Yeah,
Very
they're
big
gonna
plot
like
hole.
we did nothing for 5
And
years.
nobody's going to want to see a show or a movie based on that. And from now on, from this point forward, nobody's. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to see any Marvel superhero stories set pre-snap.
No.
No, that would.
I don't.
That's that was one thing.
Pre-Endgame. I don't want to see anything. I want to see what happens now moving forward.
Yeah, and that's somebody was bringing that up in their review for Black Widow. Like, what the fuck are they going to do for her
Well,
movie?
her movie is a prequel. They said that already.
Did they see in theirs? It's going to lead into the whole like.
It's good. I guess it's supposed to lead in how she got to Shield, how she became
Yeah.
a Shield agent, and all that stuff.
I'm not
So,
interested at all.
All that.
I'm
I'm not a Black Widow fan.
Were you
so-
happy that she was gone?
Oh my god, I was so happy. Listen, when I saw that when I heard that they were going, that they were both going to the what was the name of the planet? Volmir.
Vormir, yeah.
Vormir. That Hawkeye and fucking Black Widow were both going. Both characters that I detest in the whole Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Either one's good.
I think they're both worthless and useless. And I was like, shit, only one of them's gonna die.
The thing-
I was hoping both of them were gonna die.
I would have before this movie. I would have preferred Hawkeye to die, but now that he was Ronin,
Now
the
that he
fact
was Ronin,
they
he
gave
was a
him that
bad
fucking
motherfucker,
sword,
man.
He was kicking.
Ass.
Listen, I'll give it to him. I don't like him in any of the other movies. I loved him in
Giving
this.
him a
Ronin,
sword
yeah.
actually made
Yes.
it useful.
Yes.
It's like he was
Yes.
actually able to take out more than like 11 dudes. Like if you ever see that
Yes.
SNL skit after the first, I killed 11 of them.
Yeah.
There's like 2,000. Yep, and I killed 11. You're welcome.
Now,
But
but the whole like Tony Stark figuring out the time travel thing was a throwback to Iron Man 2 when he figured out the thing when he was just like,
Dark reactor. Yeah.
yeah, like I was like, oh, a little throwback to
Yeah.
part 2. Yeah, when he
and the
figured out
fact
new
and
element.
how he comes back to the fold in a car.
In a
He
car,
leaves in a
eating-
car and
yeah.
he comes back in a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he overshoots too, and he has to reverse back. And
Gives Captain America his
his shield
shield.
back. Don't tell people I didn't bring enough for everybody.
yeah,
It was so good, man. And then once we get to the part where they actually start doing the time heist,
Yeah,
that,
time heist.
Scott
which
Lang
they
called
call a time
They
heist.
called it a
after
time heist a
Heist.
few times.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. From then on, it was just
Ki-
full steam ahead, fan service central.
Oh yeah.
It felt
Next
like
stop, awesome.
Everything had a purpose. Everything had like a
Everything.
Now backtracking before the time heist, the one part that had me fucking dying, was with the Hulk in the fucking diner.
Oh, that was so well
Oh,
executed.
With the
yeah,
kid.
that's right.
And you want a picture of me? I'm Ant-Man. No, we don't.
Oh, that was so awkward.
You know?
I was
The kid, you can
cringing
see the
in
kid
my
just
seat.
shaking his head. No,
And the
it was
Hulk, the
funny
Hulk.
because that was the first thing I saw. The first time I didn't notice the kid when he was like, "Look, the kid's shaking his head." No, I didn't notice that the first time. The
Yeah.
second time, I was looking right at the kid, and you could see him just like, "No," just nervously going, "No, I don't want to take
He's
a
like,
picture."
take the damn phone. Take the damn phone.
I don't want to cut it. It was so awkward. It's so good. But
It was so good.
Seeing how
Professor Hulk, like
Yeah.
that was awesome.
him and that character made the Hulk so much better.
Yeah, yeah.
So much better.
Again,
Yeah.
more fan service. They gave you the smart Hulk.
It
like
was
you
good,
were saying.
and that's what everybody's been wanting for a long
Yes.
time. And there was a nice little progression because
Yep.
we had, crazy mindless for lack of a better word, Hulk and Avengers. Then you had Thor Ragnarok where he was kind of talking some,
Yeah.
you know, then to this.
Yeah.
And then like one of his last lines in Infinity War is like, Hulk, we gotta figure some shit out.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah,
They
they
figured
did.
it out.
And I like that it wasn't anything like convoluted or stupid
No.
or, you know, like the rat going over the keyboard.
And he had to
I'll
come
never
up with
be able
another
to forgive
formula,
that.
another
No, I
formula.
think they
yeah,
pretty
of
much
the
just
gamma.
mentally like, all right, let's
Yeah,
like, they
yeah,
just-
and it gave like fans like myself. Like I used to love the whole Professor
Yeah.
Hulk story arc from the '90s.
Yes.
You know, where he was just Bruce Banner,
Yep.
Bruce Banner's consciousness in the Hulk. It was awesome. I'm
The only
telling
thing
you,
that would make that better is he walked in with a fucking black tank top on.
Oh.
I would have
Yes!
geeked out. I would have
Yeah.
geeked
Well,
out.
what color was his tank top when
was
they went to
gray.
battle in New York? Oh, was it gray?
No,
Right.
that one might have been black, but then he immediately like
He
and then
ripped it off
smashed-
because it
he's
looked
like,
gratuitous, but,
fine.
That was funny. Boom. Boom.
Go act like Hulk. All right, it's a little aggressive, but all right.
But and then they answered another fan question in that movie. Was like, why the fuck were all the sorcerers not helping? Like they totally were.
They were.
They
Yeah.
just were being quiet
That's
about
right.
it. And
Yep.
fucking I was not. Oh, I was like, the ancient one's back.
The
Fucking
ancient
Tilden
one.
Swinton's back.
Oh God, that was good.
And
man.
she's kicking ass. She's just like, boom, boom,
Yeah.
like doing. And then
Yeah.
like, well, I need to see Doctor Strange. Like, yeah, you're fellow 5 years.
You're
too
5
early.
years too early.
It's like, oh fuck, she knew. Of course she knew.
Of course, she
Like,
knows.
yes.
She's the ancient one.
And that whole interaction, like, I never thought I would see the Hulk talking with the fucking ancient one.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
weird, but it was good.
Yeah.
Everything, like even Thor going back to seeing his mom, and his mom is like, "You're not my."
Which
you're,
she
you're my
also
stuff in the
had
future."
more
man.
lines
That
in
was-
this movie
yeah.
than she's had in any,
Any
other movie.
other Thor movie.
God, yeah, right. And I love Renee Russo. Like,
Oh yeah,
I'm not
She
gonna
did
lie,
a
man.
great job.
Renee Russo is fucking. She is sexy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
she's another
She's
one. She's
been-
another one of your.
Ooh, Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan.
Yes.
Yo,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
so good, so good.
That's when we
And-
got slutty Renee Russo.
Yeah, slowly. I'll take it. I'll take it. I don't give a
No,
shit.
she
But
did a great job
such a good job.
pulling him back
Yes,
from whatever. Like he only needed his mommy.
and
and-
fucking Chris Hemsworth, man.
He.
Come on.
He was like
Let's-
3 different versions of Thor in this movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He had fucking fat Big Lebowski Thor. Like
Didn't at one point Tony
It
Stark
just
called
like
him?
it-
he
Hey,
did.
Lebowski.
He did. He said, yeah. He called him Lebowski, and it was funny too because I saw more Lebowski like later. But when they first showed him, like in his fat suit and the big beard and thing, and they showed him at Avengers headquarters when they were
Yeah.
going over the Infinity Stone plan for the time heist plan, and he was just sitting there with his sunglasses. I was thinking Fat Jim Morrison from back in the day,
Hey.
like when he let himself go. I'm like, damn man, he's Jim Morrison.
I was like, Thor, you there? I think he's dead.
He's sleeping.
And fucking Chris Hemsworth, man, it's a comic book movie, and he showed such range. Like
Oh.
he
He was
cried.
3 different
He
versions
was-
of Thor.
Yeah, he was. He
3
was crazy
completely
badass
different.
Thor. He was sensitive Thor. He
But-
was, comedic Thor. Like, man,
I
that
think
was,
he
That's why I
was-
say, if they're
he was-
gonna go forward, like you said, it has to be because that's the way Thor looks in the comic books now in
Yeah.
certain storylines.
He looked
Yeah.
like
He looks
an
like
Odin.
Odin. He
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
So
Like,
it's
he
like,
looked like an Allfather.
Yes,
Like
yes.
at the end.
Yes, he
sort
did.
of
so when
like-
they ended it, I was like, I wasn't disappointed because again, going to the comic books was where you're getting your source material from.
You know who I bet were disappointed? All the fucking Chris Hemsworth's female fans.
Oh my God.
Who were getting ready to look at 3 hours worth of his fucking forearms and his fucking triceps and
which
his
they were
abs.
totally just like, no.
Nope.
They knew they were taking that away.
He was in that fucking fat the whole movie.
God.
The whole movie. Like I thought.
I kept waiting for the lightning to hit him, and boom.
I was
he's
waiting.
right.
I was
Yeah.
waiting at one
Right.
point, like at the very end,
Nope.
when he was like, "Finally, yeah, let's get this motherfucker." And the lightning hit him. I'm like, "All right, he's gonna be Jack Thor again." Nope. He was still Fat Thor. The one thing I noticed though, he had that big beard. When the lightning hit him, his beard was braided.
Yep.
You notice that shit?
Total fucking
fuck?
Viking style.
That
Like
was awesome.
he looked like a god.
Yes, he
like,
did.
Oh.
Now that you brought up the battle scene,
Well, hold on. Let's try to walk.
Yeah, let's
through-
keep
Okay.
going.
We're
Let's yeah.
time. So what was the last thing we did? We
We
already
did it.
talked
We did
about
time heist. They went to Battle of New York.
Oh, the shut the front door. It's like if we pick the right time, there'll be 3 stones in New York. Shut the
Yep.
front door.
and it's funny that the one who figured that out was your least favorite character.
I know.
Wasn't it?
I know.
Everybody had like, I mean, it's a comic book movie, so everybody has their moment. I was always a fan of Black Widow just because she kind of was ironically enough, the kind of straightening arrow for Cap. Like anytime that Cap was kind of either
Yeah.
worried or going off, like especially since Winter Soldier, she kind of pulled him back
Yeah.
a little bit. She was his support. Hawkeye was the one who I could not have really cared about
Mm-hmm.
And in
Well,
this,
they didn't do a great intro to Hawkeye. The first movie, he played half. The first.
Yeah, he was
opening
a
act
bad
as
guy.
villain.
He was a bad guy.
which
So it's
is
like-
what happened in the
just
comics. He
terrible.
was a bad guy at the
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
But it still was just kind of, it was an odd choice. They
Yeah.
finally said Hawkeye in this movie.
they did.
Yeah.
It came out of his mouth
Yeah.
He did.
early in the
Uh,
movie. Well, they called him the Hawk in.
Yeah.
In the first, but
Yeah.
Hawkeye, like, and
Yeah,
he
they never
calls
called
his
him
daughter
Hawkeye.
that.
Yep. That-
They definitely pulled him back. Man, again, like, and even starting at this, no, I'll hold off until we've gone through everything for that, because it'll be weird. We're jumping. But okay, so time heist, then the actual execution of said time heist.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. When each
Wow.
one of them had their moments, because Hawkeye was the first experiment to
Oh
do the time
yeah,
heist.
yep.
Saw his family.
Yep.
Then you
Brought
had
back the catcher's mitt.
yeah. Then you had Tony Stark, who had the interaction with his father
Which man,
when he grabbed the Tesseract from
Well, that was
time.
a little. Yeah, that was when the initial Tesseract heist went wrong, and then they had to go back and improvise.
Right.
you
yeah.
see Michael
But come
Douglas
on.
with the OG Ant-Man helmet.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you know what? And I keep saying this. How is it that does Marvel have better CGI like companies at their disposal
They just
than
have more-
DC does?
No, they have more
Because
time.
his mustache.
Motherfucker, yeah, because you know
He
they
looks
did
so
the whole
good.
thing with. But they showed Michael Douglas and they fucking de-aged him and
Made him even
literally,
younger.
Yeah.
and he looked like
was
fucking romancing the stone,
Yeah.
fucking Michael Douglas. Like I
Well,
was
that's
like, holy
probably
shit.
why he looked like that. Is that's as a modeler, I could tell you they were totally pulling it from that era.
They had
They
to.
would've
It just
really
looked
taken
perfect.
stills
But the
from
way
that
they
movie.
do the de-aging, like all the Marvel movies, like Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
2, on the beginning scene.
Tony Stark. in
Tony
Iron-
Stark,
in
yeah.
Civil War.
When they showed young, like,
And I
we
can't
had
remember-
Weird Science Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Like, it
can't
was
remember
just-
Howard Stark's actor's name, but he was de-aged.
John
in it.
Slattery,
John
yeah.
Slattery. He was
They
de-aged.
even de-aged him in this
Yep.
movie.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, just the fucking technology and the shit that they do. Like Marvel does it right,
Way
man.
better. Way
Well, they
better.
also, they take the fucking time, whereas DC was trying to rush out all of this
Yes,
stuff.
yes, I agree.
And the perfect example of the fact that that's the reason why is Captain Marvel. They were just trying to get that movie the fuck out.
Did
and
you see
the CG definitely
Yeah.
suffered.
It did
from it.
suffer.
somebody, one of the a DC fan tried trolling the Marvel movies
Mhm.
and posted, you know, that picture of the Justice League when only the emblems are lit up and they're
Mhm.
resting shadows.
Mhm.
He's like, you know what? Who wouldn't have had a problem facing Thanos? And it showed all the Justice League. And a Marvel fan commented, "Why don't you guys try defeating Rotten Tomato first?" I was like, "Oh, damn! They hit him where it hurts."
I mean, they have tried to defeat Thanos on his dark side because it's the exact
Yeah.
same
Mhm.
fucking person.
Mhm.
So and they didn't. Guess what? At least on a couple occasions. But another story. That
Another podcast.
Yeah.
The Tesseract scene where they were at Battle in New York. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about.
Okay.
There's a one. There was that it was just the inside joke with Robert Downey or Iron Man looking at Captain America
That's
do his
Cap's
thing, and
ass.
he was like, I gotta tell you, Cap, that suit does nothing for your ass.
Yes.
And then Ant-Man's on his shoulder going, well, I always thought it was America's ass.
Yeah.
And then later when Cap is fighting Cap,
That is
that
America's
little
ass.
joke, he
Yeah.
was like, that is America's
Yeah.
ass.
well, and also
That was
he was
awesome.
making fun of the suit in Avengers. Like, he
was,
was the
yeah.
only person here in
Yeah.
a Star Spangled suit. He's like,
Yep.
yeah, I'll give you,
Yep.
yeah, that did nothing for you.
And then
It's
let's
America's
talk
ass.
about how one of my favorite scenes from Winter Soldier,
probably the best scene in Winter Soldier.
and it looked like they were going to repeat it, was when
Oh.
Cap was in the elevator
Mhm.
with all the Hydra agents,
the exact
and he whooped
same
their asses.
people.
and he's sitting there, and then I thought it was going to happen, and I got ecstatic, but then what they switched and when they twisted it made me even more excited when he was like, "Hail Hydra."
Hydra.
Come on, man.
Again, play a little homage to the comic.
To the comics from last year or a year and a half ago when Captain America was found out he was a Hydra agent.
Yep.
That shit fucking it tingled my balls. I was like,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
They
saying.
did it. They did it perfectly. It was quiet and just Hydra.
That's it,
That was
man. That's
and
it.
he diffused all of it.
I
everything.
literally thought it was gonna be the same thing because you see the one guy looking at him the same way.
Yeah.
he even
gun,
pulled the
I'm
guy
like,
as the exact
Yeah,
shot for
James
shot.
holding his yeah.
Same shit.
Oh my god.
and then when he
it's
goes,
so good.
Hydra, I'm
Like,
like,
talk about subverting expectations. Like build. Oh,
not yet, not yet.
But it was
Calm
good,
down,
but it
calm
was
down.
good,
But
No,
it was
good.
just as good instead of the fight scene.
It
The way
was.
it was
Yep.
just as satisfying.
Again, yeah, exactly. It's very satisfying. I mean, we go through that. Then they lose the Tesseract. Then they decide to go.
That's him
you know,
going
get
toe
the
to toe
pin
with
particles.
himself.
Yeah, him going toe to toe with himself. That was an awesome scene too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Him fighting himself.
Like, and the shields like just bam, bam, bam,
Yes.
like throwing you like oh, like it's
it was so good.
there's
It was
so many
good.
like to put it bluntly, comic book
Yeah.
matchups Like
Yes.
everybody's like, well, what if like Spider-Man, or like what if Cap and Cap fought?
You got
Well,
to
you
see
got
it.
Cap and
You
Cap
got
fighting.
to see it, man.
You
You
got
got
to see
it.
shield on shield battle.
Yep.
When
Yep.
they're ricocheting off of each other
Yep.
and just then
Oh my god! And even that too. The like you
Yeah.
see how Captain America like has evolved from like earlier
Yeah.
when the older Cap is like I could do this all day, and the other Captain America's like
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
yeah,
I
so
know,
it's
I
like
know,
he's
yeah.
loosened up so much.
Yeah.
Like over there, it's just like yeah,
The,
yeah.
Another part this is why I like Paul Rudd in the movie. He's the comic relief.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's
Again,
also Paul Rudd.
It is. But the part when Hulk tries to send him, and he keeps coming back at a different age,
Oh,
and he's like,
I
somebody pissed my
somebody-
pants. I don't know if it was baby me, old me,
or just me.
or just me. I was just
somebody
like,
did.
What?
I love the fact that, and they alluded to this in the very first teaser, like the guy to essentially save everything was Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, he's gonna be Captain
The
Marvel. It's
goofiest
gonna
character.
be Cap. It's gonna be Ant. No,
It'll be
no,
Ant-Man.
it's Ant-Man.
Ant-Man,
Hey,
the one
do
who
you-
came up
do
with
you
the whole-
remember me? You know
a couple
no.
years ago,
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I know you remember that.
Yeah,
Like
that guy.
the whole theory of the quantum realm and
And
the
they
time
seeded that.
travel.
They
and-
seeded
and-
that in
and-
those two movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It was just oh god. And then you know the way they did everything, and then there's stuff that you didn't even know you wanted to see, like the scene when finally everything went right, and you know Tony runs into Howard.
That whole scene,
That
like
whole
I,
scene
couldn't- I
fucking
could have like
broke my heart, man.
That's
Broke my heart. That was one of the scenes right there where I almost teared up.
it was so heartfelt and just like
Uh-huh.
it was honestly like almost a coming of age for
Yeah.
Tony.
like he
like
at the end,
he got his
thanked-
closure.
He thanked
Yep.
his father.
Yeah, he finally got to hug
And then
him
he had
one
to,
last
then, he,
time.
then he was like, for all you do for the country.
Yeah,
Like,
blah blah blah.
You know?
And like so he finally got his closure, but not only that, like there's always that like moment in everybody's life where they kind of like look at their dad in a different light.
Exactly.
Essentially, and
That was it.
he finally got that moment, and that's
Yep.
when you quote unquote become like
Yeah.
an adult.
Mhm.
He finally got there, and if you look
He
for the
understood
rest
it because again,
He was
obviously he was a
dad.
And
dad.
I
so
would
he
say-
understood.
at that point, that's when the decision he made at the end of the movie was possible.
Yeah.
And we'll
I agree.
We'll go like
We'll go into depth, but again,
yeah.
like you said, it just goes to show. Well, we'll talk about it later, but like what Doctor Strange said, all the ways that he viewed
Mhm.
everything that
14 million.
happened
Happened.
played
Yeah.
Into
into
it.
that.
Yeah.
if
to
that
that.
if that conversation had not occurred, he would not have made the decision. at the end.
Exactly.
You're right. You're right.
Because he finally was like, okay, all of the little knots are tied up. Everything is
Yep.
we're ready to fucking go.
There was and then the nice little nod that Howard Stark's driver.
Jarvis,
Jarvis.
who was
Well,
in the
they-
TV
How
show.
fucking
They
cool.
spoiled that
How
too. I
fucking
was
cool is
pissed.
that? Did they?
Yeah, because it leaked online.
See,
Oh,
that's
and
why I
Entertainment-
avoided everything. I
Entertainment
avoided
Weekly,
everything.
Entertainment Weekly
Sure.
released that it was going to be the first TV show to movie crossover
Yeah,
because the guy who played Jarvis on Agent
Mhm.
Carter was going to be in the Marvel
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was awesome.
why would you
should've
say
left
that?
it.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Should have left it
stop.
alone.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
When
I
saw
had
him,
no
I
idea.
actually elbowed Brittany. I'm like, she's like, who is that? I'm like, Agent Carter.
It's Jarvis, man.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening, and then when he dropped, like, oh shit, and
Yeah.
they even had Paul Bettany do
Yeah.
the voice for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also like how he like, the dude played it up because he stood there for a while
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and then got in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yes,
let us
sir.
drink that in. Let us drink that in.
Sir,
I
yes.
feel like I met that person before. Sir, you've met a lot of people.
Yeah.
It was. I mean,
That whole and then him seeing Peggy
Peggy Carter.
Agent Carter, yeah.
and like
Yeah.
that and then and then a show of that relationship is like it wasn't the
Oh.
picture wasn't muscled up.
Yep.
Steve Rogers. It
Yeah.
was
The original, yeah,
Steve.
Yes.
Steve, yes.
Yes.
And like that's just like I think that was when he made the decision
That he made
that
at
he
the end.
was going
Yes.
to make was at that.
That's what it is, and you could have told you know they foreshadowed a lot of it because they showed that him running into her, seeing her. They had a couple of scenes with a compass with her picture in it.
Yep.
You know, so from there I was like, all right, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
At the end,
Yeah.
I don't know what. And since Peggy Carter was already dead because she died of old age dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Um,
was it Civil War? Yeah,
Was Civil War? Yeah, Civil
Yeah.
War. That it wasn't like she's coming back. So there, I had
I
kind
had
of
a
an
hunch
inkling
that I had two ways that they were going to end his story. That was one of them.
Mhm.
That was one
Mhm.
of the ways I thought, especially with the plot.
when
of-
they kept throwing her out there. I was like, all right, he's not.
well,
not
that and
gonna
also
die.
he's had what at least I would argue three love interests. There's Peggy.
Mhm.
I would kind of say Natasha, kind of.
There was
But
a little
they-
flirtatious.
They
little,
they kind of dabbled in it, but they didn't go full into it.
Yeah.
So which is why like
Yeah.
it was on the fence. But then they also had Sharon Carter.
Yes.
They nuked all of those at the beginning. It's like love of my life. Boom. Like nope.
That's it.
Okay. Yep.
That's
we're,
it.
We're
That
reverting
one
to
line. I met
she was
the
it.
love of my life 70 years ago, and then I went in the ice.
yep.
We all have to move on.
She was that like that's where it was like all right. He's going to end one of two ways.
But that's like you said, this movie was the nod back to all the previous movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you missed any of the other movies, anybody who's missed it, they're going to be lost with certain phrases that are said. Because even
There's
the line
a
that he
lot.
says, some of us, the best we can do is move on.
Oh,
Mhm.
and
That's
was
the
the
line
civil-
that Peggy says
They
to him
even
in
put
Winter
that
Soldier
in the
when she's
trailer
bed.
for Endgame.
Yeah.
They pull her line from it. That's the
Yeah.
only line from that trailer that's not from
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
And it was we just got to move on.
Yeah, it's like I said, there was so many fucking throwbacks to the original movies, and this movie
Oh.
just fucking,
Listen, I know you wet your pants when they fucking showed the fucking first scene of all the Avengers together. That was that rotating camera scene where they showed all of them in the Battle of New York.
Oh, and they brought it back.
Initially. Yeah, they
Yes.
brought it back.
This one, my Avengers for me is always gonna be number one because again, it was the first time seeing
Yeah.
all the iconic.
Yeah.
This one is a strong number two right there for me.
Yeah,
But that scene, I was like,
there's nothing like
Yeah.
the first.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was the first time.
I don't know, man. I think in ranking, well, you know that.
I
right?
know,
Most
I
favorites,
think-
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
I think this movie trumped it. I think this movie
the
trumped
one
it.
I cried.
Yeah.
When I cried, but it's still, man, we got to work our way.
I
through.
know we're trying.
Yeah.
It's tough.
We're building up just the
We
same.
are building.
But then so this movie tied into itself a lot.
Mhm.
There's especially like all Marvel movies always have themes. This one had themes that they started and then also ended.
Yeah.
Usually because there's no ending to the movies, the character becomes the theme. So
Mhm.
like when Cap comes in, it's truth, justice, and that's it. When Iron Man comes in, it's all like whatever the fuck it takes.
Yep.
Regardless of the casualties.
By any means
Whereas
necessary.
in this
By any means
one,
necessary.
there are themes that are ended and started in the same movie.
Yeah.
Where like Tony's, for example, like his whole story arc, like, all right, you got to come back to Earth.
Mhm.
Essentially, like, what did Pepper say? He's like, we got lucky. Most other people didn't.
Yep.
Yes.
And he's got to fucking have his Iron Man moment again,
Yeah.
where he figures it out
Yeah.
and he's got to go back, and he
Mhm.
does.
Because he was out. He told
was
them.
out.
He told him he didn't want to come back.
He
He's got
had
too much to lose now.
Completely disconnected.
Yeah.
But she told him too. It was, he's like, I'm just gonna get some sleep. And she was like, yeah, but are you gonna rest?
Which is a
Exactly,
callback
you
to
know?
Iron Man 3, where he
Yeah.
literally couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just
And then it plays into all that. It's like she and was
fucking
it,
writing
like,
on this movie, man.
Dude.
I've given up on trying to get you to stop. Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
yeah.
and you're like, yeah, and then he goes and fucking figures it out and does it, and his reaction is perfect.
Well, I said his reaction was the same as in Iron Man 2 when
Yeah,
he
he
figured out
pops
the new.
it.
He sits back like
Yeah.
like I did it. And
Like,
Yeah.
fuck, I did it.
yeah.
That
Like,
and
it was
also
almost, it was
almost
almost like
sad.
he was, yeah, that's what I
It
was
was
gonna
just
say.
like, he's
he
like,
was happy,
shit.
but he was like, fuck.
figured it
I just
out.
fucking figured it
Because
out.
at that moment he knew he had to go back.
Yeah.
It was like
There
at
was
that
no-
moment,
there was
it a
no other way.
realization, there was no I can't sit this one out.
Nope.
I
There's
figured
no
it
other
out.
way.
I'm back in the game.
Yep.
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 So
That's when he told Pepper, he's like, I figured it out. And
Mhm.
she was like, oh, what?
All right.
and then she's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. There's good news and there's bad news.
And then she gives like, you got to because other people didn't. It doesn't matter what happens to you. And there's a theme that started in the first Avengers, which we'll finish at the end. Again, I'll go back to, but one that Cap actually started with Iron Man, which I guess kind of a story arc, but well, when we end it. So we're going through where we're at now. So we got them in the 70s with
Mhm.
awesome young Michael Douglas and John Slattery.
Mm-hmm.
And what was next? Oh, fuck. All the shit on for the Power Stone. That where it flipped the fucking movie on its head.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
And that was what with fucking the one version of Thanos we've seen the most of, and Guardians is the one that we fucking get.
Yeah.
That is the one. The
Straight-
ruthless one.
Straight up super villain,
Yep.
armored up.
Yep.
Because you
Like,
already got
not
to see.
giving a fuck.
They didn't have to because you already got to see Thanos
Yeah, they said his story.
His
You-
story, his
reasonable,
rationalization of what he's trying
why
to
he
do.
was
They
rationalizing
set
everything.
his tone
You
in
saw
the
that.
movie, so we don't have to
So
fucking
we don't
worry
gotta
about
see it
it.
again. Now
Yeah.
you're gonna see the Thanos that we read about in the comic books.
Yep.
He just wants to fuck everybody up.
Like
He
the
doesn't give a
straight
shit.
evil version of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
But I do like it when they were on the planet and then you see Quill.
Yeah,
And
you
then
do
it-
it at the
oh,
beginning,
and
the opening
then it cuts
credits from
out.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
And then Warner, she's like, so he's an idiot.
so he's an idiot.
Yeah.
it's just, I'm a planet.
You know, he's singing to himself.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
Yeah.
all of that was just, and I like the way they did it. And again, it was a callback. They knocked him out. Then
Yep.
they did, I like
They
the
knocked the
Raiders of the
fucking
Lost Ark
Ark
reference.
reference.
Yeah.
Which it was funny too because watching Guardians of the Galaxy, that opening scene when
Was a reference to
was a reference to
the-
Raiders
yeah.
of the Lost Ark.
hey, even yeah, and then they pull that in, and then she just straight up's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
pulls
Yeah,
it out,
just
like,
pulls it
oh,
out.
Fuck.
Oh God, and that's cool too. And the whole, I wasn't always like this, and War Machine was like, we work with what we got because obviously he's paralyzed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that plot twist, that right then and there, that's when we see that Gamora is alive.
Yes.
That's,
A
well, that's
version-
his
a
past.
version
past
of
Gamora.
Gamora, which means
Yeah.
I guess who else could also be alive? Your favorite character,
Who is my favorite character? I have so many.
Natasha.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
What I liked about that is they pulled a DC action on
They
that
did.
one. It's a time remnant.
They did.
They totally pulled a time remnant out. I was
Yep.
like, so it makes me wonder how much of like the Flash actually kind of might have influenced
There's a
that
couple of
particular
things that I
part.
want to see how it's going to affect because even like I said, when we get into Caps, it's another story there too. But with that one with Gamora, and then I mean,
Then it's the other way
They're-
around, where Nebula's trying to pull her back,
yes,
as opposed to
she's trying,
her
Nebula's trying to
pull
convince her
Nebula.
that she's changed.
Yes.
That she's not the same
Yeah.
Nebula that she knows.
And we got both Nebulas too,
Both
which I
Nebula,
thought was awesome.
and she even tries to compel to the passionate side of that Nebula. Like, look, I've changed.
Which is where you get a
know?
little bit of the Infinity Gauntlet Nebula
Yes.
Yes.
coming in, and she straight up shoots her in the fucking heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like,
she kills
oh.
herself.
Yeah.
What?
I was waiting to see
I was
if she
expecting
gonna-
her to fade away.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
like, is she gonna fade away now? Because she
Nope.
technically just
But that's
killed
also
herself.
when they kind of led into the fact that, okay, timey-wimey, like, and characters can exist with their past versions of them being gone.
Yeah.
So
I like
Yeah,
that.
like no matter what you're doing and what you change in the past, it's not going to change the future.
Speaking of that, because one thing we didn't touch on, which I found to be hilarious, was when they yelled at Paul Rudd's character
Mhm.
for his whole theory on the time travels from Back to the
Oh,
Future.
he was
And
like, I hope
the
you're not
plot
basing all
is-
this on Back to the Future.
and
He's
the
like,
plot
"No,
is actually
no."
Back to the Future.
yeah.
That's exactly what
It's
Yeah.
exactly. They talk to their former selves. The bad guy disappeared. Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Oh, it's so good. It's just
so.
I mean, we got the Guardians of the Galaxy tie-in. Then obviously that's when Black Widow and Hawkeye go out and
my
Goldmere.
thing with that is, Rocket didn't tell them about that. Like he had to
Yeah.
have recognized that. Okay, like it was a pretty big fucking point in Infinity War that they went there together,
Yeah.
and only he said
But
he told them.
Rocket wasn't with
But yeah, I was
the
going to say
Guardians.
Rocket wasn't with
in
that's
Infinity
true.
War. When
But
Remember,
Nebula was.
he went with
Nebula
Thor.
was.
Yeah, excuse me. All right, so swap out what I said with Nebula instead of Rocket. Like Nebula totally was,
Yeah, you're right.
and
shit, I was going
she
to say
knew.
that she already
see, that's
switched
something
with
that I was
with
like
the-
when they were flying there, and I'm like, they have no idea.
They have no clue. No clue, which is why they were all jubilant when they were
Yeah.
riding the space shuttle. It's not like Budapest.
Yeah.
And I was like,
man.
that was kind of well. I think that was also partially they were trying to make the audience like have the dread, like they know that something was about to happen.
They knew one of them wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate the fight. I could have gone without the Gamora shot of her at the bottom of the pit again, because it kind of cheapened that,
Yeah.
and it did the same thing for the Gamora. It's like, first off, anytime they show the fucking cliff, it looks like bottomless, right? And then all of a sudden, yeah, it's like 100
That's
feet
like
down.
6 feet down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could have just grabbed her.
it's right there.
She could have landed on her feet. She would have been fine.
But the fact that essentially like, okay, and here's the body, like, see, we did it.
Yeah.
Like it, which I guess is the whole, like, if there's not a body, then they're not dead in a comic book, but it just felt cheap.
yeah.
It took like what
I
was
agree.
meant to be a giant cosmic sacrifice at the end of her story arc, where Clint saved her
Mhm.
and now she saves him.
You know what? I kind of agree with you. I think what it should have been is you would have seen her let go,
And that was it.
and then that was it. And then the next shot should have been him waking up in the water
Yeah.
with the stone in his hand,
Yeah.
and him breaking down the way he did.
I can see that. Yeah.
Which Jeremy Renner, man, everybody stretched their
know.
acting muscles in this.
Everybody
movie.
did.
Everybody
did.
like he just breaks down. Where Thanos like took it like okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he moved on.
Yeah,
like,
he cried one tear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, all right,
Whereas-
get the fuck out of here. Woo!
whereas Clint's just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
like he just lost. And then when
Yeah.
they go back and he's just sitting there,
Now,
He's just sitting there, and Thor's like, we can get her back. We can get her back.
Like,
And he's
no,
like,
we
no.
can't.
He goes, talk to the fucking redheaded cloak guy
Yeah.
and let him know, you fucking smiley magic fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, we can't get her back.
we can't. He said we couldn't. Which I love how it was Red Skull, and they didn't
Yeah.
even know it was Red Skull.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's that whole scene, like, man, that was brutal. That was one of the it's a nitpick. Out of the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that big a deal, but it
Yep.
just felt like it cheapened.
I agree with you.
the
Listen, I
death a
did
little
that was a scene where I actually the first time I saw it, I was like, good. Because, of course, I don't like Hawkeye and I don't like Black Widow. And then the second time, like appreciating, like I already knew it was gonna happen. And just Jeremy Renner's performance, when he got the stone, the breakdown, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. Like I almost welled up because that's one of the things with like actors and actresses that fucking, oh my God, I'm super envious of is the fact when you can cry on cue and cry on cue like that,
Yeah,
Yes.
and not a little bit.
not
Like-
a little bit.
Like,
Like,
you are that
in
emotion.
tears.
you
with
got that fucking pain. You're
Yours-
bringing that shit from somewhere.
Your best friend is dead.
Oh my God.
and you watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so-
him and like everybody did it. He did it. You mentioned about Scarlett Johansson doing it. The
Thor.
sandwich scene. Thor
Thor.
doing it with his
Thor.
mom. Fucking Captain America
Cap
doing
had a
it.
few scenes.
And
where
Tony
he
Stark
held up.
doing it. Like
Thor did it a couple times too. Remember
Yeah.
when they
Yeah.
first went to get him?
Yeah,
and
he
he
had
was
that.
like-
And he just shut down
when he
was
said
talking
when he
like
said Thanos, he was
Yeah.
like, we don't say that name.
Name, and,
yeah.
you saw the pain that he was going through from
Mhm.
that. Like you could hear him talking, like just the disconnect that he had. I'm like,
Just like the-
wow.
total and utter. Like you got the Thor from right after the head chop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, all of us, like out of nowhere. Like
Oh my God, we didn't even mention fucking Korg.
yeah,
Korg
I
was there too.
Yeah, Korg again. I can't even remember the other guy.
That shit was awesome.
Sitting on
Was
the
it
sofa.
Meek or Seeks?
Meek.
Yeah, and
Oh my
Taika
God, that's awesome.
Waititi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
voice
she was
it.
there.
Even wearing the Hawaiian shirt.
The
like he
white
does,
shirt. Yeah. Playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I was like,
that was one of my favorite
I will
characters.
come over
from
to your
Regular.
house and I will fuck you up. Yeah,
Got
run
a
here,
thunder
Mom.
if you don't log off right now, I'm gonna go into your basement where you dwell.
Oh, where you dwell.
Oh, that was so good. That was so
Oh.
good. Then we got so then we got the Guardians of the Galaxy. Then we got the Volmir. Then what's after that? There's another. Was there one more stone?
There
And
was
there was a Hulk
three.
trying to get the other stone from the ancient
her.
one. So that
But
was all of
her.
it.
All of it.
Talk about another like Tilda Swinton. Like she went from like
Tilda Swinton
I'm
was
in charge
awesome
of the
in anything.
Sween. Oh, the Sween. Swinton. The Sween. But I'm in charge of the scene. I'm in charge of the scene. Oh, and the power
Yeah.
shift just went
Yeah.
right over.
Yep, that
And-
revelation that
and-
when the Hulk was like, Doctor Strange just gave Thanos a stone.
And she's
She was
like,
"Oh,
"What?"
really?
She had to realize that there must have been a reason.
Like there was
But can we
and-
talk about the fucking hand chop? When
Yeah,
he was
and she does it, and-
boom, and then separated him. I'm like,
it's Bruce
oh,
again.
okay.
But there was a great shot because like first off she explained essentially what became the main plot of the movie. Like who would have thought that the ancient one was going to be out of nowhere going to
she
be the one to
explained
do it?
the flashpoint effect.
Yeah,
if you
it
wanna
was
put
totally
it.
the flashpoint effect.
You know, but
There
then-
was so many DC parts.
yeah,
in this
So
movie.
many.
He came back and was like, not if we, and he explained what his plan was.
Mhm.
With towards we'll talk about later. If you take it back, it
Yeah.
erases this
Yep.
variant.
You
Yes.
get the
Yep.
You know what I
the
mean?
various timelines.
Exactly, but
Yeah, the
she
splits.
put
Alternate
She
timelines.
put
She's
out-
the one who actually said it.
that you can affect this current timeline.
Yeah.
if
Which
you,
there's a plot hole with that at the end. Which again, well, actually no, we've already talked about. Fucking Thanos destroyed the stones, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means that we're now going all over the place with the timelines.
Should have been. Yeah.
So that kind of confused me a bit. It's like, okay, you know how that one point where they talk about how if you remove the stone because they somehow are maintaining the balance. Well, now there are no fucking stones.
You're right.
What-
It's
what is that?
48 hours though. I mean,
Yeah, but
So
that
what
means
could have
from this
happened?
point on, it doesn't matter because now it's just gonna be timeline. She says like when you remove one, that splinters. What happens
Yeah.
if you remove all of them?
Isn't that you still have your main timeline, but then you also have 6 other? Timelines?
I have no idea. Like, or is it like any time a decision's made? Are we going straight Schrodinger here, where like everything's gonna have something else going on? Did they essentially just introduce not just the multiverse,
A
but an
multiverse.
MCU multiverse?
they could.
Could be. It's too
Like-
smart for me. I'm a geek, not a nerd.
Maybe they did that so they can bring in the white Nick Fury.
Oh,
The white David
Fuck.
Hasselhoff.
and Star Lord looks at him like, "You seem familiar."
You look familiar.
Oh, I mean, that was something I thought of afterwards. That wasn't a
Yeah.
daring hand thing, but just I guess food for thought, maybe, or it might lead into nothing.
It
Who
might
the fuck
lead
knows?
into a plot with the Internals, because remember that is the next
Eternals,
movie
yeah.
that's one of the next movies that's coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess that's
so
what they
maybe-
want to.
Angelina Jolie.
That's what they want to launch Phase 4 with, right? I think they said. the
I don't know
Eternals?
if they're going to launch the Phase 4 with the Eternals. I know
Have they
they're-
said what they're going to launch with?
they
yet?
have a Black Panther 2 coming out, obviously.
They said what's
They're
going to
gonna
be
have,
in it, but not
Doctor Strange
necessarily.
2.
Doctor Strange 2.
So I mean, but then
Probably going to be a Captain Marvel too. Sorry,
Yeah, they're
Uh,
but there probably is going to be.
but that's it. That's all we know that's gonna come out.
well, yeah.
That's it. Because I mean, aside from Spider-Man, nothing else. They haven't filmed anything else.
Nothing
so.
else is on
My
the
guess
market.
is that they're probably filming, or they have been secretly filming the TV shows for the
Yes.
Disney app,
Yeah,
and then that's going to premiere, and then that'll probably bridge the gap. Maybe that's why they're taking that year off.
no, that's
Just
totally
so
what they're doing.
that way
so
we
they
can-
have the
we
time
can-
to
yeah.
set those in, and
Yep.
instead of having the movies for everybody to watch, they have the
Mhm.
TV.
Well, they
shows.
said that these were going to be like what Agents of Shield was. Remember in the
Mhm.
beginning that it tied into the movies.
Yeah.
These are all supposed to tie some way, shape, or form into the
Yeah.
movies that are going forward. So
It makes sense from
Yeah.
that perspective. They have the year to give themselves a break, but the TV shows are there to give everybody a
and I
break.
told you they got
Yeah,
so much
to whet our appetites.
there's so much source material they can go through in that year and just like really
Yeah.
because like I said, one thing like you always say about Marvel, they took their fucking time,
They
and
did.
with this movie
They
it
did.
showed.
That's
They
what
did.
made
They
it.
did their homework.
Yeah.
They knew backstories on every character,
Yep.
They
everything.
they cared essentially is what
And like
happened.
I said, once we get to the battle, is
Intricate,
what I'm going
too.
to talk about. That they knew something about a comic book that not too many people know about. That when I saw it, I geeked out for it because a lot of people forget about this one little aspect that happened in a comic book once, and it actually ties back to Age of Ultron.
Yeah?
Yeah,
There was a lot of they cared. That is what it boiled down
exactly.
to. Obviously,
That's why
you
you
know.
have to get geeks to do geek movies.
like obviously like money was
You're right.
definitely the prevailing like factor. Like they
Oh.
want to make money, but the fact that they understood to make the money,
Yeah.
they had to put a little into it.
Yes,
Put a little, give it some soul.
Yeah.
And that's what
give us some
what'll-
soul and we'll get some funk.
They
That-
thought about.
that's-
I mean, they thought about it. They obviously planned this out way ahead of time. You know, Kevin Feige and I think John Favreau had a big.
Well, he's the
It
one
makes
that
you
it started
wonder
with
how
Iron Man.
far back they did have it planned.
Yeah.
They had it planned from part one.
Yeah.
They like
From
I,
when-
I think they had a
from
plan
Iron
before
Man.
part one.
I
I think
think-
they were trying
but-
to do things with Incredible Hulk, with the one with Edward Norton. I think that's when they were trying.
they
they
were
were
But
testing
that
testing
that
happened.
shit out.
That happened after Iron Man.
Did?
Yeah, because remember the end credit scene
that
for
teaser
that one
was just supposed to be for fun.
was when Tony
Yeah.
Stark came in.
That was
Yeah.
supposed to just be for fun. And then when people lost their shit, they started stroking their beards and going,
But
maybe
when they did Iron Man, remember Iron Man is what started it all. When
Yeah.
Nick Fury told him, you just became part of a larger universe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
That
mean?
was-
So it's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you knew they were going to bring in more
they
characters.
were going to at least try. Like it was
Yeah.
in their head. Again,
Yeah.
like they said, like going back, like that was meant to be just for fun.
Yeah.
Because Nick Fury in the Ultimate Comics happens to look like Samuel L.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson,
They
yeah.
So
created
they're
that
like,
fucking one for Samuel L. Jackson.
so
Yeah.
then they're
Yeah,
like,
they did.
well, why don't we get Samuel L. Jackson just
Yep.
for fun? And then people lost their shit,
Yep.
and they're like, well,
Well,
let's
That's
try this.
it.
And you're right. And they took the Hulk, and then
And
they
this program, the
not to
Avengers
spin
initiative.
off, but it's something I have to talk about for you because I know you are going to love this.
Me?
They're actually doing a show of your favorite characters, your favorite comic book series,
Which one?
The What Ifs.
yeah,
oh yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
one of the
Doing
shows.
a What If
What
show.
Ifs.
Oh yeah.
One of
Oh,
shows.
trust me. Oh,
that's
it got
gonna
hard
be-
for that right
That's
away.
gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
That's
can't
gonna
wait.
be really cool to see. I'm
Yeah,
curious to
those
see
are gonna
where
be
they
No.
go with that.
That's anything because it's only a what if, so they could do
Yeah.
anything with that.
It's
They-
something like 6 or 8 episodes or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
That'll be very.
I saw that. I'm like, I
That'll
know
be very
Eugene's got to be.
interesting.
Oh yeah,
silly
they
happy.
re-released the What Ifs now. They did
Oh,
all
they
the
did them
older
again?
ones. They re-released them, and there's some newer stories that are out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like an
think they
active
started
title
making
again.
a couple of them again. I
Yeah.
don't think they went full into it, but they're
I remember
starting
the one that
I
I
could've sworn
had.
they went
The one
full
that I
into
had
it
back in
already.
the day was what if Spider-Man was a Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
to- yeah.
and then
Ended up
in the
happening.
future, he
Ended up
became a member
happening.
of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It's after Johnny Storm died.
Yeah.
It's what do we got left in this movie? There's more.
We're still
'cause we
like
got-
halfway through,
Are
man.
we halfway through? I mean,
We just
they already
finished Time
connected.
Heist.
They already, yeah, we just finished Time Heist. So I mean, that's then once they get
got
the
all the
stones, and then you got Thanos finds out
Then
that
we got Act
that,
3.
that
battle.
they're actually doing all that shit.
Which how does that ship do that?
Do what?
That when it came out
Well,
of
the one thing, because the way they kind of, because remember Nebula, because she was in the same timeline as her previous self, her
consciousness.
consciousness was connected to her old self.
yeah,
So she was shooting out what they were doing.
which was an
Which is what
interesting
gave
thing.
him, yeah, which is what
That
gave
was
him,
interesting.
is what-
I was like, oh, that's a MacGuffin.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
you know, it gave him the thing. I was like, oh yeah,
It
this is what they're
makes
trying to
Yeah.
do.
Because I was
sense.
wondering how the fuck Thanos was going to find out that they're
Mhm.
collecting the stones.
It makes sense. Okay, like
Yeah,
again,
That's it.
we'll just suspension
All
of
right.
disbelief this one.
Yeah, you know.
It's
We're just
it's-
gonna let it
A
ride.
rat saved Ant-Man, so
With
yeah.
so much
Yeah.
going on in this movie, let this fucker
yeah,
ride.
like, and it was
It'll
all,
explain
it
itself
wasn't
out.
complete. Or like, okay, she's got a brain of a robot. All right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll roll.
Yeah.
We'll roll with this particular one.
Because it was the whole thing of her. Because I even said it. There's another Nebula sharing her conscious in this timeline.
Yeah,
There's two Nebulas.
and
So
it's
that's
like, and
what's
it's from
happening.
what 9 years in the future or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
All
that's
right,
interesting.
we got That's
It was okay. I can work with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the smoothest, but I don't also know how they could have done it better, other than
You're right.
Thanos or somebody showing up there and going, "Hey,
Hey,
who are
what's
you
going on here?
guys? What's this?
What are you guys
What
doing
are you
here?"
doing here?" Like,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't really think of a better way, so fuck
That's
it.
fine. That's
It's-
fine.
and it worked because
Yeah.
then we got to have the two nebulas basically like have a showdown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We got the reverse of Nebula saving Gamora as opposed to Gamora
Yes.
pulling her back from the
Yes.
death.
I mean, then we got.
And then that
after
Act
that, Act 3, yeah,
And
it
then-
starts off with what the Hulk is the one that ends up after.
Yeah, who
after
would've
they're going
thought?
back and forth trying to decide
And
who's
who-
going to wear the gauntlet
It-
and do the snap.
because he said it is mostly gamma.
Which they
radiation.
Gamma
seeded in
radiation.
Avengers. That was the whole reason they found him in the
Yeah.
first place,
Yeah.
was
Yep.
because it gave off gamma radiation.
That's it. And then then we're kind of closing off the the arc with Thor. Thor still
Mhm.
let me do something right because he still feels guilty because he thinks it's his fault because he didn't cut Thanos' head off. And he's like, I'm made of lightning. I'm the strongest Avenger.
Avenger.
Let me do it. And both Cap and Tony are like, whoa, settle down, man. You know what?
Yeah.
You're not mentally there.
Yeah,
We need somebody else to do
we're
this.
not ready
you.
for that.
Not ready for that.
That's-
And and the Hulk was like, I'll do it. I got to do it. He snaps, undoes everything.
and how they
you don't know-
the best way that they reveal that it's fixed isn't
Yeah.
Instantly.
Hawkeye's wife.
Yes.
It's
the phone
it's
ringing.
Scott just
No.
going out and hearing birds.
Hearing the birds and seeing the
Yeah.
butterflies.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was such a quiet, subtle way
Uh-huh.
of just being like, "We're back.
Or, yeah.
It's here."
And then Hawkeye, they did it like two ways. Hawkeye's getting
Hawkeye
a call
with
from
the
his
phone.
They
wife.
did
yeah.
it the kind of brute force way of like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're
But then-
literally back.
But
They're
then they
talking
did it
to
when
them.
they showed just the animals, like,
Yeah.
okay, look, you see the birds, you see everything. It's like,
Yeah.
we're back to normal.
And then,
It's-
of course, it just comes to that
Boom.
fucking.
boom, boom,
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Was I the only one that was like, Ant-Man's dead?
Me
I
too.
I thought there was going to be more than one death there.
I thought, yeah, that's what I thought too.
that was gonna
I was
be
like,
like-
all right, so this is how a couple of characters are going to die
But
here.
yeah, because they showed the explosion, they show him getting thrown back.
Yeah.
Well, they
I
also
even-
show him
I-
shrinking.
No,
Like,
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't even
At
see
the
that.
moment,
Yeah.
I didn't. All I saw was him go.
Yeah, and him getting fucking rocked.
I'm
Yep.
like, Ant-Man's dead.
I was like, all right, yeah, fucking Ant-Man's dead. I thought Hawkeye was going to be done.
Oh.
Like, it was
Yeah,
just
I
like,
love how. No, like if you look, you can actually see him shrink like as it's happening.
See, that's why I, gotta
I
go
don't
see
know
it
if it
again.
was
See it again, yeah.
reactionary or if the machine just did it himself. But point is, he flies back.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
from one side of the fucking screen to the other.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the
oh.
Hulk is in there, and then it's just.
Then
through-
things just fucking literally exploded.
At
Well,
that
the
point,
whole
Literally
time-
exploded.
Thanos is there. He sends, future Nebula or past Nebula, and is like, go get me the fucking gauntlet. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait because he knew what was up, what was
Yeah.
coming.
He knew that they were gonna.
he knew they were going to come out.
And sure enough, man,
And they knew that they were gonna go out. There's just sitting there like, it's a trap, right? Yeah. Okay, just so we're on the same page.
Just so we're on the same page.
And then it's funny that they had the three characters that started all in Avengers:
Yep.
Thor,
The
Iron Man,
the-
Captain America.
The trio.
Yeah, the
if
trio.
you actually look at the soundtrack, which I've been fucking binging, it's literally
Yeah.
called Le Amigos.
No.
Like that scene, like them standing there
Yeah.
and like, we're gonna do this.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. Like that is,
But
it's
that-
it's their trinity.
now
They
that
are.
like I say, we're getting into the battle scene, which for me was did the whole movie. I mean, the movie was awesome.
The movie.
Well, no,
but
you're not
that-
talking about the big battle scene.
no.
No, we're talking about the three of
Well,
them versus Thanos.
So,
right?
Yes,
so
yes,
we got
yes.
so the Act
Okay.
3 is broken up into literally 4 parts.
Yep.
There's 4 acts in Act 3. It could have been its own movie.
Oh my god.
It like Hawkeye running through the fucking sewers. Like, of course, Hawkeye with the fucking gauntlet.
Hawkeye with the gauntlet.
And he's just
Where-
it was almost like horror movie. Just and he shoots the flashlight. You can just see him.
It was like an alien.
It was an aliens moment. He's just like, he just grabs the gauntlet and runs. Oh god! And then what? Scott going straight up Giant Man to save Rhodey. And is it bad that I completely forgot Rhodey was handicapped?
Oh, did you?
Like until that
Dude,
scene
with so much
where he's
going on-
where
with
he's
so
dragging
much-
himself.
so
He's
much
dragging
going on.
himself to save Rocket.
Yeah, I'm like,
blame
oh
you.
fuck, I forgot.
We don't blame you.
I forgot he can't use his legs.
Yeah.
Because they only show like one shot of him really without his armor on.
Yeah.
Every other scene,
But he's wearing those braces.
That was it. But every other
Yeah.
scene, he's wearing his suit.
Yeah.
So I just go like, oh fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean,
they pull Rocket out of there, and then the three of them. Oh fuck.
The three of them, and then they start battling Thanos. Thanos is fucking whooping their asses one by one.
But the thing is,
At that point, I thought somebody was gonna die.
I
I thought somebody. Well, you know who I thought was gonna. I thought Captain America was gonna bite it.
Me too.
Yeah,
Right then and there.
Because when they showed that one scene with him, like,
Yeah,
Trying to get
him, like
up,
he was just
fucking
punching the fuck out of them,
dude.
And he's got that sword that looks
But
like
the thing
fucking
is,
helicopter propeller.
they still kept doing the thing that they had done in the previous movies. They were fighting them separately.
Exactly.
They did not fight together.
Yes.
That was what went wrong in Infinity War.
Yep.
Like we've proven that Thanos can beat literally any of them.
He beat the shit out
By
of the Hulk
himself.
individually
He
one on
beat the
one.
shit out of
So
the Hulk with literally
Yes.
one stone, and even
Yes.
then, I don't even think he used it yet.
no,
no,
Yeah,
he
I
was
think
just
he was
his
literally
ass.
just
judo
doing
chopping
it.
him in the throat.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Hike, hike.
And even later on, he kind of fucks up Captain Marvel, at least for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so like he just, and again, they don't work together. They get fucked up, but then
Oh my god. Thor, yep. Thor is there. Thor's
Fucking
fighting
Mjolnir.
it with Mjolnir
when
and
it
with
happens and he gets
Stormbreaker.
both of them.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting
You
an
knew-
accident, he
like,
get the
I knew
hammer.
some shit was gonna go down.
When
The
he's
second
dual wielding,
Thor's eyes lit up. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
about to
that's
go
it.
down.
That's
like
it.
It is
that
about
was
to go
that was
down.
the signal to everybody. Like, and then you see the lightning starting. Like, are they gonna do this? Oh no, that's
In the charge,
Thor's.
in the charge towards him, the only thing that could have made that better is they played the same song from Ragnarok.
Oh,
Thor's jumping over. Yeah, that would have made it. That's the only thing that would have made that better.
But the best part is they didn't even charge them at first. They just walk right
Yep.
up.
Oh,
And it's just like that shot of like Thanos through like their legs from the trailer
Mhm.
of just you see their backs and it's just like their backs are
Yep.
literally against the wall.
Yeah.
To the camera at this point.
Yep. And Thanos was like, "You just showed me what I did wrong." He was like, "Next time it's not going to be 50%."
And then
Just-
he's
I'm just gonna
he's
decimate
comic book
everything.
Thanos.
and he said
He's
it.
like,
He
fuck
said
it,
it.
we're
He
killing
said it.
everybody.
He said it. First time it wasn't personal, but now
This is
I
personal.
just
Well,
wanna
that was
destroy-
that was later. That was later after they fought him. But what I mean is when they walked up to him.
Okay.
He was like, he goes, "You made me
Yeah.
see the error of my ways." He goes, "Next time I'm not just gonna do just 50%." He goes, "I'm decimating everybody to the
Everybody.
atomic level,
Yeah.
and then I'm rebuilding everything." And then that's when Captain America was like,
Oh, because they're
you
people
know,
can't
and then they're all
accept
going to
change
know
and stuff.
and
Yeah, yeah.
they're
They're
all
gonna-
going to
like,
know
they
that
won't,
it was
'cause you'll be
born of
dead.
blood. And he was like, "Nope, nobody's going to know that because I'm going to kill you guys."
Yeah.
And then that's when they went at it. And one by one, he fucked everybody up. And then Thor drops Mjolnir. How do you pronounce that?
Mjolnir.
What?
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
There you
Like
go.
millionaire.
There you
but
go.
millionaire.
But
With an
Norwegian.
accent. With an accent.
Millionaire, but Norwegian.
Millionaire.
Millionaire. And drops it, and fucking he's fighting Thanos. Thanos is grabbing Stormbreaker. He's
He's
about
doing
to
the
fucking
straight chest
do it.
punch.
Yep, he's
Yeah.
about to fucking just shove it in his chest.
Then boom.
And
You
what? You
see
see
the hammer
Mjolnir
lift?
come up? Yep. And then all of a sudden you
Boom.
see fucking Thanos just get knocked the fuck out.
Turns
Dude.
around. Captain America.
Captain
Now,
America.
What I was talking about, because there was a comic book series
Where he
comic
had
book
it.
where he picked it up and hit Thor with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, that's why in Age of Ultron, when he lifted, I'm like,
It's
I'm
close.
guessing he's gonna lift it.
And,
was
that was the callback to that, to the scene in
Yeah.
Age of
He's like,
Ultron
I knew it,
where he
I
moves
knew
it.
it.
Yeah, and Thor's face was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was like, "I fucking knew it."
Yeah. But
Oh
then
my
when
God.
him and Thor fighting with the shield and hammers and fucking
And it was just all out.
Listen,
Holy
just the scene,
shit.
just that scene where he grabbed it and he fucking hit the lightning and he did the spin with
Yeah.
the fucking
Oh,
hammer
and shield
at
in the
Thor,
other.
and he was like, "Pop, pop, pop, pop."
Oh.
Oh my god!
It's like I think out of everybody in this movie, the person who kicked Thanos' ass the most was Cap with
Yeah.
the fucking hammer.
Oh yes.
Where
yes.
when he does the the Thor uppercut where
Yeah.
he just clocks him.
Yep.
And Thanos is just right in
he
the
just
chin.
he just flies
And then
out.
he's throwing throwing it, it's hitting the
Boom,
hammer,
boom,
it's
boom.
chilling.
All the
it's
combo
just-
shots, yeah, which is a shot almost kind of like a throwback to Avengers when
Where-
Iron Man
where
and
they-
Cap was using the shield with the
yeah.
blaster. And,
Well,
somehow...
that and also when like Thor hits the shield with the hammer
Yes.
in Ultron and also Avengers.
That's right, that's
where
right.
it does
They
the
have the
shell. He
reverberations.
did it in fucking self. Like
Yep.
you don't need an old man
Oh
anymore.
my god, and that was one of the parts where I fucking jumped out of my
Like,
seat.
No,
oh,
dude,
that is
From a reclining,
That's what I'm
laying
telling you,
down.
that was one of the
fucking
moments
Thor.
where that was officially when I started to get vocal in the theater. When it like when he's just like, oh, like
Yep.
he's
I was
doing
like,
it,
oh shit.
and he just starts beating the fuck
But I
out of
like,
him.
you know what I like? Because again, they kind of give us a second to digest.
Yeah.
Because when Captain America got the hammer back, there was the
Mhm.
pause.
There was a pause. There
So
was
you
a
can drink that
there
shit
was that
in.
pose.
So
like,
you can see
yup.
it.
Like,
what-
Drink it in,
Drink
man.
it in,
Drink it
man.
in.
Here's the film student in me. Act 3, they straight up pulled a Stanley Kubrick, where like literally every frame is a painting. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
especially with the outdoor shots,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the sky all fucked up and
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
lighting
Yeah.
dark, and like every single shot
it was a work
looks
of art.
beautiful.
Yep.
Like, and then there he pulls the hammer back. Like every single one of those can be a desktop background.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you could put that on your
Absolutely.
wall, like him, and then he fucking calls lightning down and he shocks him with it, and it's like, oh my god!
And then-
So now
and then-
Cap's
and
a
then
fucking
Thanos-
demigod.
Thanos fucks him up again a
And
little bit.
Thanos fucks him up again.
Breaks his shield.
the one
Breaks the
thing-
shield.
The one thing that kind of confused me is, and this happens in a lot of movies, is I can't remember exactly what the trope's called, where you can't tell how much a punch actually matters, because like Cap fucking wrecks him.
Yeah.
And he's wrecking him good. Like
Yeah.
there's scenes where he's going flying, he's like he's
Mhm.
dazed, and he's like, oh yeah, that meant nothing to me. Like, but
Yeah.
but literally a second ago, like, all right, so how much did that actually hurt you? Because it looked like it was hurting the fuck out of
Really
you,
hurts you.
but it's apparently it didn't. So it's just like how-
There's some punches that you get, and, you
that
know,
happens
Mark
in-
and I both know that because we've been punched in the face a couple times.
Yeah.
Well, there's some punches that are harder than others, where you can get a punch that'll rock you, but you'll recover quick.
Super quick.
But the problem is for story consistency. Now
Yeah.
you don't know how much Cap's hammer hit actually hurts.
But then again, you also
Yeah.
gotta remember that
Yeah.
that
Yeah, because he
Thanos
wasn't
being-
really bruised up.
yeah Thanos
yeah.
being an internal and living
he's
his
not
whole
actually-
life.
He's not an Eternal.
No.
Well,
not.
they praised him as, if you read the storyline, they said him
Yeah.
as an eternal that
He has
um,
the ability to
yeah, and
do
he
it.
trained his whole life for battle, for war, to fight.
So
he
I
can take a
understand.
lot of punishment.
I understand why it's just for like, and a lot of movies do this, including Marvel movies. I just don't know how much that hit hurts now.
Yeah,
Is the thing. So it's just
I
kind
get
of
it.
hard to gauge a fight scene. Like when he hits somebody else, I don't like. It's a nitpick. Totally a nitpick. We're not talking about anything important here. But oh man, when he grabs that hammer,
that shit.
that's also when I kind of knew that this was definitely the ending of this.
Oh, yeah.
Of the entire, like everything kind of at this point was still kind of in the air. Like I could see them making another movie. When he picked up the hammer, that's like
That's
this,
it.
Then-
this is
then-
the ending.
That's
then
it.
Thanos
This
is
is
the end of him.
definitely the
That's it.
culmination of, for the very least, his story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanos starts
So-
fighting again, beat with the sword, fucking cuts
Breaks
Cap's
his shield,
in half.
Breaks his shield in half.
and
That
but Cap
fucking
is still
helicopter
like-
that's- and
helicopter
talk to-
propeller is breaking down fucking Cap's shield. Like,
Yeah.
that was
and Cap was
crazy.
still like, fuck it.
Well,
Have
that
a
and
fucking
there's
shield.
and that shot is why I still say Cap is the main character of this story, at least of Endgame. When it's just literally him, Iron Man and Thor.
Well, you
They're
know, it is.
gone.
Captain America was
Mhm.
pretty much the main character in almost all the movies. Even because
Yeah.
even though people, one thing that still gets me not angry, it's a little nitpick I have towards more so the Marvel movie fans when they call Avengers Civil War. No,
No.
it was Captain
No.
America.
It was Captain
Civil
America.
War.
See,
It was
that
his
movie, he was definitely. But I would say like the first Avengers,
But-
he was not the main character.
He wasn't.
at all. He was actually more of a secondary character in the first
Yeah.
Avengers. He was there for like support, and then he steps in for certain
Mhm.
shots. But it was definitely like the Iron Man
Yes.
and a little bit of the Hulk, and then definitely Loki.
Well, not the Hulk.
show.
The Hulk.
Well, I mean, Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner would
yeah,
be
the
the
Hulk
whole,
turned
yeah,
out to be the
science
breakout.
side of it.
Turned out to be the breakout
yeah.
character that everybody loved in the movie.
But and then into Age of Ultron, like I don't really know who. I don't think there really was a main character in
Well, I
Age
think
of
that's it.
Ultron.
What
Age
it
of
was is
Ultron
that-
was to set up Civil War.
Yeah, that's totally what
That's
it
when
was.
you started seeing that little friction between them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
With
you
his Sokovia Accords and all that.
it was definitely there, but that's why like in this one he was far and away like the Avenger.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
and then they even
Yeah.
had the shot from the comic where it's just him facing Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but except
Yep.
it's literally like, there is fucking a beautiful like I even in the theater like this is gorgeous where he's backlit against all of them
Yeah.
and he's just standing like huh,
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just,
That's it. And then just when he's about to fight,
oh,
you hear the radio.
But what did you hear? That's why I say the throwbacks to all the original movies
Yes. On your
left.
got me. On your left.
on your left.
Winter Soldier.
And like you hear
Yeah.
it first because I thought it was like maybe it was Clint. And like maybe fucking Clint's got the gauntlet.
Nope.
Maybe he were gonna do it. And then he's like,
No.
No.
When I heard
As
that
soon as
on
you said
your
on your
left,
left, I'm
I
like,
was like,
oh,
ooh.
look at that. I got
He's
goosebumps
like-
right now.
and then
Just
you
thinking
see
about
Sam,
it.
no,
this
mind
is
you,
when I cried.
mind you.
This scene.
mind
No,
you,
not me. Not yet.
when they
Oh.
opened up and you see people start walking through the portal.
When they open up the portal, and the first thing you see is
Was
Black Panther, Okoye, and Shuri.
Tell me Black Panther did not come out with a pimp walk.
Of course he
Oh, he
did.
totally can.
He had pimp with his hose.
He
He had
came out with
Big
the only
dick
pimp
energy.
walk.
Like he was this
Big
they
dick
just-
energy, like Mike
walking
likes to say.
out
Yep.
like
Man, the only thing that was missing was they had the Shapton theme playing in the background.
Waka, 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 waka.
and Okoye came out with like the fucking like let's fuck shit up face
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Like
And
And
you
then-
see Falcon fly out.
Yep.
the
and then it
only
just started.
the only thing I had wrong with that scene. Again, nitpick. Like I'm everything up until the ending. I'm gonna be nitpicking for the
Yeah.
record. I say is they had Sam say on the left, and then they showed Black Panther. It was just
Well, he was just telling him. He was just telling him,
It was
look on
coming,
your-
and
on
it
the
made
left.
sense because
Yeah.
they were both coming from Wakanda.
Yeah.
Again, nitpick. It was just kind of like I expected to turn around and then see Sam.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
But-
Sam fly out.
Yeah,
and
or
then
Sam just like do the walkout, and then
his
so,
wings come
and
out.
then
Yeah.
T'Challa and everybody come out. Total nitpick.
That's
It just
fine.
kind of threw
No,
me
fine.
out a little bit.
Now, in your theater, when you guys watched the movie, did people pop when they saw Peter Parker?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
As soon
My
as
theater
Guardians
went
of the Galaxy
crazy.
came out,
Yep.
then
Well,
when everybody
like-
started coming out, and then
You wanna-
yeah,
you
Doctor
wanna-
Strange,
Yep.
and then Spider-Man, like just
You want to talk
flips
about
out.
letting it
We all
sink
flipped
in?
out.
Like they did that. Like okay, all right. First off, we'll hear Sam's voice, and then
Mhm.
T'Challa, and then we'll just walk out and just hang there for a bit and just
Yeah.
look at Cap like,
yep.
sup.
Yeah, because they didn't say anything
Yeah.
at first.
They didn't even look at it. They just
stood
looked
there.
at each
And
other like, "What's up?"
And then it's like, because it made sense. Like I thought for a brief moment, I was like, Hulk did bring everybody back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, like we immediately forget because shit's getting real.
Yeah.
And then like, oh wait, he brought them back.
And then
And then-
after the pause, the drinking
Fucking
moment,
Falcon
boom,
shoots
Falcon
out.
flies
Shoots
through.
out. Yeah.
I was like,
And then all the
oh.
other portals start opening up, and fucking it's
and then all the wizards
the
came out.
entire-
Thanos' face.
the
like, oh, shit.
entire
yes.
MCU shows up.
All of them. All of them.
See, and the reason why I teared up on this, it is that is literally what I wanted,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't think I was gonna get it because like that'd be
I
a
don't think
stupid expensive
I don't
scene,
think
Yeah.
anybody thought they were going to do it to that extreme.
like to the
they-
full on fanboy,
Everybody.
You know,
Everybody.
the full on fanboy level that they went to.
everybody.
I didn't
came
think it was
out.
gonna
That was
happen, and
ridiculous.
then when it happened, I'm like.
Like,
I
even
seriously
other
like,
characters, like secondary characters, like
Were
fucking
there.
the White Gorilla, like Winston Duke's
Yeah.
character, from Black
M'Baku,
Panther.
M'Baku.
Yeah.
M'Baku, yeah.
And M'Baku shows up.
Wong, and just other.
yeah, Wong
Like
finally
characters,
showed the fuck
like,
up.
What the fuck? Yeah, because in Infinity War, he's like, hey, you doing anything? And he's like, no, I'm making a call. All right, I'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, I
And
got
it's
the
like,
Last
wow,
of
you guys are
Wong.
fighting Thanos. Wow, that's crazy.
yeah.
You be careful.
You see
And-
him, but I mean, Wong, and then,
The
fucking
Ravagers.
Pepper
Pepper
Potts
Potts
in the
rolls up.
suit.
What? With the rescue suit?
But now we can
Come
talk
on.
about it because I didn't want to throw it out there because we have to go in timeline and
Yes.
not to give it away. But
Send it.
you kind of knew. Remember when his daughter?
Oh, yeah, when
Oh
his
yeah,
daughter had
they
the
totally,
helmet.
they totally like
Yeah.
like that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it wasn't going to see her come out and land, and I'm like,
Oh, my God.
And,
Opens up her face and it opens up the mask.
It's
And
like,
like,
oh,
fucking look like I'm
shit.
going to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like in Iron Man 3.
yep.
Ooh.
and, like all the like the Ravagers, the Sorcerers,
Yeah.
fucking,
You just knew that at
the
that point it
Wakandans.
was fucking on.
and
Oh,
then
so
fucking
good.
Giant Man just blocks
Yeah,
out of the wall.
yeah.
Then Hulk and all them come out. Then Giant Man comes out, and
And
Yeah.
he's just in the back. Even fucking Wasp is there. Like
Uh-huh.
all like
That's right. When Wasp fucking pops up.
literally every single
Uh-huh.
person shows up.
Then you got T'Challa throwing out my favorite chant, Ibombe, Ibombe, Ibombe.
Yes.
I was waiting for a Wakanda. Did he actually go Wakanda forever?
No,
No,
I don't
just
think he
Ibombe.
did.
made it.
Because I think that was the point. He's like, it wasn't about Wakanda. At
It
that
wasn't
point.
about Wakanda.
It was about more.
And then right there and then there, that's when Captain America finally said it. He said the line that all of us been waiting for,
Avengers.
Avengers. And he whispered it, assemble.
Assemble.
And then boom.
But again,
Holy
the
shit.
one thing, and you're going to hear this throughout the podcast, is just the moments they took for all of us to drink that
They
shit.
still
in.
waited.
God, it
They
was
knew
so
that
good.
They put the camera on him. He's like all fatigued.
Yeah,
Avengers. Pause.
yeah.
Assemble.
Finally.
They leave it on him.
Boom.
And then everybody
runs.
And then you see like the big poster shot.
And can we talk?
Everybody.
The big comic splash page.
Them
It was
showing-
totally a splash
That's
page.
totally what it was.
Them showing Falcon how Falcon really uses his wings.
And he fucking stabs
Finally.
the shit out of that dude.
Yeah.
You got a hint in Civil War when he used it as a shield.
Yes.
That was about it.
Yep.
But in this one, they showed how he used it
Yeah, he
as
was
a
killing
weapon.
motherfuckers with his wings.
Dude,
That was
everybody was
awesome.
killing motherfuckers in this movie.
It was
We
so
finally got to
good.
see
God.
insta kill.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Spider-Man. Oh my God, Drax.
Drag.
Who was just underused in this movie.
He was.
But he
There was
jumps
just
on a
too
monster.
many.
He's like, yeah.
There was
Oh,
just
it
so
was
many
awesome.
people to get through.
Yeah.
Like, and they had they even had like everybody had that moment where like everybody had their hero shot.
Everybody had a moment.
Everybody had a
moment in this
hero
movie,
shot.
which was
Like,
awesome.
and it was,
Nobody got, especially in that battle.
Some had more moments than others,
Yes.
but everybody at least got one moment.
like in that portal scene where like we talk about that big dick energy and the Guardians roll up and Star-Lord just boom,
Flies
chest
out.
out.
Yep.
Like
Because he's like,
oh my God.
this is all my fault. I started it.
Fuck.
Damn it.
oh.
It's just, and then you through all this action and everything, then they managed to throw in like a couple of touching moments. You
Like
know,
Tony
Spider-Man
and
shows
Peter.
up to Iron Man, Mr. Spark, You know, I turned to dust, and then I passed out, and then I got told it's 5 years later. And Strange said we had to come here, and all of a sudden he just hugs him. He's like, "Oh, that's nice."
Okay,
Which was
okay.
a callback
Do
to
it in
Spider-Man
Homecoming.
Homecoming.
That's not a hug.
When he was like, when he goes to hug him, he's like, "Oh, that's nice." So yeah, it's not a hug.
Yeah.
I'm just opening the door for you. It was just
We're not-
so
he's like, "We're not there
good,
yet."
man. We're not
Yeah.
there yet. Oh my God, it just
And
that
then Gamora, Star-Lord.
Gamora, Star-Lord,
Star-Lord.
like that.
You missed the first time. You got them both the second time.
And then it just shows you and it tells you, man, they're gonna have to start their relationship all
Well,
But
over
now we know
again.
what Guardians 3 is going to be about.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going in
But
order.
in order.
But like
But
every
that battle,
and then
Believe it or
the
not-
Wasp with the Cap. She says
Oh
Cap.
my God.
And Scott just looks at her like,
Like,
you said
yeah,
it.
you used to fucking make fun of me for calling
Yes.
Cap.
and
Again,
then-
those are little things of fan service that
Yes.
if you watch the movies, like the director's like, yeah, we're gonna give you this and we're gonna give you that.
for who would have thought that the fucking van was gonna
Oh my
be in
God.
everything's going to shit, and then Louise is fucking.
Is it me that for a split second I thought Louise was gonna be in it?
that would have been awesome.
That would have been awesome. But yeah, the whole thing with the van,
And then the van is the fucking thing. Like, of course,
Uh-huh.
that shitty fucking brown
Yep.
van.
And
Yep.
but then like
that they had the hot wire.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
when they're battling and it looks like Thanos probably gonna get the upper hand again. This I wasn't disappointed in. Then they bring in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, they had her big dick
Yeah.
energy moment.
Oh
where
yeah,
she fucking
When
rolled
they-
when,
in.
when
she
he's
came in-
shooting at everybody,
Yeah.
he's shooting
Then
on the
it stopped.
ground.
They
and he had that
they put
Braveheart
her
moment.
Because
perfectly.
that's when fucking Scarlet Witch was fucking tearing him to pieces.
Yeah.
And he
Oh.
said to that other the
Isn't it Ebony Maw?
Ebony
Ebony
Maw,
Maw.
like what do you say? Let fire rain or let fire
like rain
fall?
fire or
Rain
Yeah.
fire,
like,
like, but our men. So
And he's
what?
like,
Do
go
it.
ahead, do it.
Like he was, and then
we're
boom,
losing.
Boom, 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 boom. You see people dying and people falling.
But
And,
then
oh,
you get to see all the wizards,
Yes.
Yeah.
all the sorcerers throwing the protection spell
Yep.
shield up there. Which
Then-
again, I mean, fucking Doctor Strange. I just go just a little bit diverting here. A lot of people don't appreciate Doctor Strange.
He's really
Or
the,
the
mastermind
Because the
before,
movie just,
like
the
behind
movie
both
just
of these.
touched again. It's an origin. People
It
forget
is.
that it
It
didn't get
is.
into half.
Like, there's a
of his
lot of people that I know
importance.
that never watched Doctor Strange, and
They-
they're like,
ah.
Doctor Strange. But listen, man,
Like-
that whole world is fucking badass,
It
man.
is. It
And they
is.
showed it in that fucking battle scene.
That and also, like everybody keeps saying, like Captain Marvel's the strongest. It's strange, especially
gotta
after
be
this.
Doctor Strange.
He literally called in armies
Yeah,
on a dime.
yeah.
Doctor Strange
And
can tie
his-
in to the Watchers.
He could do.
Doctor Strange can in the comic
Yeah.
books.
He
He's
can do
literally
anything.
he's literally called on the Watchers.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
other
He's part
Marvel
of the Illuminati.
character. Yeah,
But in this
yeah.
movie specifically, like they made him like quietly the most fucking powerful.
He
of all
was.
of
Fuck
them.
Captain Marvel. It was-
Yes.
MVP was Doctor Strange.
Like
100%.
because he was
MVP was
totally,
Doctor Strange.
and they totally alluded to it. And it's just like, you said we won once. Is this
Ooh.
it? And that was like he had like what Strange really had like two moments. The whole movie is that,
Mhm.
and then the ending.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
but that shows like how through everything he was. I don't want to say orchestrating because he just kind of saw and started it.
But he kind of knew. He knew from the moment
He
that
was
he saw.
the one person who knew what was going
He
to
knew
happen.
exactly what was going to happen. He knew what he needed to do or what needed to happen for that one scenario, that one winning scenario out of the
Mhm.
14 million that they were going to do, which is why he gave Thanos a stone when he did at the end of Infinity War.
Yep.
I
But-
mean, that shit when Tony Stark was like, all right, man, you said there was 14 million, there was one. Is this it?
And
And
he's
Strange is like, if I tell you, it's not
not
gonna
gonna
happen.
happen.
And he's like, all right.
Yeah, let's keep fighting.
Fuck,
And
you're
just
right.
see
But
that-
damn it.
yeah.
Captain Marvel comes in, saves the time for a moment. Right?
Yeah, she gets her ass kicked first.
Yeah,
And then that was a cool, like, when he headbutted her and she just like, yeah.
that
Yeah.
wasn't the coolest moment.
What do you got?
Okay, the coolest moment that I fucking kind of geeked out for is when she got the Infinity Gauntlet and she's like, okay, I got this. And they're like,
Mhm.
okay, be careful. Next thing you know, all the female characters are like,
Then they had a
They're
total
like, "I got
A-Force
backup."
moment.
Yeah.
A total A-Force moment.
that's what I was saying. The only one that was missing was
man.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
That's it.
The only one that
Yeah.
was missing. I was like, ah!
Literally every female showed up.
I'm like,
Even
yes.
even towards the end of the shot. Because at first I was like, what the fuck is a wasp? And then she pops in the
Yeah.
front of the
It
screen.
was like literally everyone.
oh, it was so good.
That and talk about a great interaction like between Peter, like
Mhm.
poor 15-year-old Peter's just like, like shit's exploding. I have the most powerful thing ever in my
Yep.
arms.
So you got something for me?
Yeah.
Like, hi Peter. Hey Peter, you got something for me?
Oh,
Oh.
my
That was
God.
awesome. That was an
That-
awesome moment.
Like,
that
and
fucking-
again, but characters we never thought would interact with each other all of a sudden are now interacting with each other.
Yes.
yeah. Oh
Oh,
my god, it was just so good. Now wait, now how did that happen? So she had the Infinity Gauntlet. She was running,
she was trying to get
running
to
off.
the van.
trying to get to the van. Thanos stops her.
Yes.
They go into it. Now, did she grab? No, because somehow he ends up getting the gauntlet, and ends up putting it on
Yeah,
because they start fighting.
He
and
gets
she
it-
starts bending his fingers back.
I think she gets it. She takes it off of him at one point.
She doesn't take him off. She's trying to get it off.
She's trying to get it
And
off
he,
him.
He pulls off. He
He
pulls.
pulls out the Power Stone.
Power
and
Stone and
Which
punches her.
talk about a cool fucking way to do something.
was awesome.
I didn't see like he was like, nope, fuck this. Like,
Yep. All right, I'll take it out for a second.
Yeah.
like because you never really see like you see some of the stones be used independently, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think really in this movie. So this was a nice reminder of like the power that they have on their own.
Yeah.
So again,
Yeah.
it builds into the what the fuck they can do.
Yeah. The only thing,
Together.
the only little bit of a problem that I had is that if you remember with I'm pretty sure it's the Power Stone from Guardians of the Galaxy. You notice that whenever anybody who was human grabbed the stone, it fucked them up.
It killed
Like,
him.
It killed them.
Yeah.
Why is it then if we have 5 other stones on this gauntlet, Hawkeye was carrying it?
I think
Peter
the
Parker was
the
carrying
gauntlet
it.
stabilizes it.
Oh, does it?
The gauntlet
because
allows
that was
it
the one
to
thing
be
that was like, what the
touched.
fuck? Why aren't they like
the gauntlet
exploding or
allows you
anything?
to harness all the stones
Yeah.
together.
But it allows it to be touched.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
okay.
is a thing.
Oh,
So
that-
it makes it
That was the one thing I was like,
As long
what
as he
the
didn't
fuck?
put it on.
yeah, it makes
was
it like
okay.
able for a normal person to interact with the stones.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's
All
kind of the point.
All right.
Or at least to a certain extent.
All
It-
right.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll
conduit.
allow it.
It's a conduit. But yeah, you're right. That was kind of especially like they're fucking bear hugging it.
They're
at
hugging
times.
it. They're hugging the shit out of it.
But
the
you want
stones
to
are
talk
touching
about
their skin.
the best fucking game of handoff ever.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yes.
Where it's like Clint, give it to me, and he's fucking going. Then he throws that Spidey grabs it, and then fucking he gives it. Oh god.
Who is it? Pepper Potts grabs him first,
Yep.
Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Then after that, Valkyrie grabs him. He's
Yep.
like, oh, horse.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is neat.
Yeah.
Like I think Peter was more Peter in this movie than in any of the
Oh,
other
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
Where he's literally
Yeah.
the audience in this movie.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh wow, we're flying. Oh,
Yeah.
this is okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, he didn't even
And-
talk about the handoff to Black Panther.
Yeah, that's what I was like. T'Challa,
Yeah.
Clint, give
Yeah.
it to me.
Yeah.
Which is great because that's only the second time they've ever talked to each other. The only reason he
Yeah.
knows who is Clint is like, hi, I'm Clint. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yep.
There's your callback too. Oh, and then that happens, but then fucking no. How does he actually beat Captain Marvel?
Well, he
ends up-
doesn't. What he does is that he punches
Oh,
her.
that's right. He
and
grabs
he
the
has
stone and
yeah.
then he beats
Then
her.
that's when Iron Man looks over at
And
Doctor Strange, who's holding back the water,
And he goes,
and then he
one.
just gives him that
One
one.
doesn't even
finger.
have to. There's fucking acting muscles again.
Man.
Doesn't say a fucking
Bro,
word. He literally
Benedict
just
Cumberbatch, come on, man.
Benedict
just-
Cumberbatch is the man.
You
just-
know he's got range.
yeah, but
Yeah,
he
he
just
does.
raises a fucking.
That's it. All he
finger.
does is that's it. He
And
just
then-
shows him his index
But,
finger.
and there is where before that he would not. And then there's the theme I was talking about. So he gets the stones,
Mhm.
clunk. Which actually, if I remember right, he's actually the only person who's ever used them in his right hand
You're right.
Yes.
because the glove
You're
is
right.
always on the left. So
Yeah.
he actually used it on his right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything at all. Probably not. But
Probably
that's
not.
just what he's
Yeah.
got. And my kind of question, and this is not negative, is like, did he make the suit able to use the stones, or is that just the nanomachines going? All right, let's.
Well, I mean, when they did the original glove, it was an Iron Man glove that they used for
Yeah, for
to bring the
Hulk.
stones back together for the. For
So
the
it wouldn't
Hulk.
be without outside the realm of reason that he made his suit able to do it too.
I'm sure he did.
But that was just sound like, did he actually plan that ahead of time that he might be able to do that or not? Or was that the
Or
nanobots?
at the same time, under the nanos, they can go to whatever he's thinking.
So he's
of
just
doing or something
making
like
a
that.
gauntlet by hand, literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way, I was just complete side. But then he says it.
You had Thanos. Thanos thought he had the fucking gauntlet and everything.
Yeah.
He's about to do the snap. He's like, I'm inevitable. And he's like, what the fuck?
And they're gone.
And then you see
Then
Iron Man pulls out his hand.
closes.
The Infinity Stones are climbing up his glove. And then he's like, I am Iron Man. Snap. Man.
Like there's a fuck. That's how you end it. That's how you end it.
That is exactly
That is how you end it. Like literally,
And then they did the same eerie silence that they did in Infinity War.
but it was just flipped. They even did the Mr. Stark. I'm not feeling good with the Maw.
Yeah.
If you look in the background, it's like,
Yeah.
like he's. Except it's totally reversed. People laughed when they saw that in my theater.
It was good. And then Thanos, they did nothing with him. He didn't have any like farewell speech
Nope.
or nothing. He just
Because
sat
he knew
there,
he lost.
utterly defeated.
Yep.
And then just turned to
like
dust.
that's like they beat him the exact same way.
Yep.
That he beat them there.
Like totally and completely done.
And it's the directors again giving us fan service. Man, you wanted us to kill Thanos? We killed that motherfucker twice. We killed him at the beginning of the movie. We killed him at the end of the movie.
And you killed him in the best, like the most satisfying,
The most
like,
satisfying
exact
way.
Slow, dusty
Actually,
way.
the two most satisfying
Yeah.
ways. Because come on,
The quick and dirty.
The quick and dirty, getting his head chopped off. That shit was pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
And then this way was
But
just
see,
as satisfying.
it all goes back to a fan theory that Kevin Feige said is not too far off. If you notice, in Infinity War, Thanos wasn't trying to kill anybody up until Tony Stark.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because he knew
And
Tony was the
they
one
said
person
that
who
Tony-
could go.
They always said that Thanos felt that Tony Stark was the one that was the most dangerous to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And coming forth now,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
turned out to be right.
It's like when they met each other, and
He knew who
yeah,
he
he was
was.
like Mr. or Tony Stark. He was like, you know him? He's like, I've heard of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know who you are.
Yeah.
Was it? You're not the only one cursed with knowledge.
Yeah.
But then it's just what it's like. I will take care of everything. I am inevitable. Well, I'm Iron Man.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. That's it. And that's when everything came full circle. From first Iron Man to this one.
And then I could have gone without the Peter part of the death. Because especially when Pepper rolls up and is basically like, get out of here,
She
kid.
is pushing him aside. You're right. You're
Well,
right.
Which I totally get. I
You're
get
right,
it.
but
Like,
they had
it-
to show
They had to do the reverse moment.
re-
the
Reverse
reverse
and him
moment
over.
and how
Yeah.
much Iron Man
I
or Tony
guess
Stark meant to Peter Parker.
that
Yeah.
and also he says nothing to Peter.
Well, I mean, he's fucking
he's
catatonic,
fucking, but
man.
he's also like he says shit to Pepper.
Yeah.
And so it's just like it was just weird to have the juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Um,
I see what you're saying.
But
there.
then he just
And that part
Nice.
in my theater, there was the one chick that was sitting here. She was like, "No, no." And then when Pepper dies, I'm like, "Yep."
You mean when
When
Tony
Pepper
dies?
cries, when she
Oh,
cries,
yeah.
I go, "Yep."
Now that was a scene where like I said, the first time I saw the movie, I did not cry. I didn't.
see. I did not cry either
But
at that
the
because I
second
saw
time,
it coming.
You saw it coming.
You could prepare.
Yeah, but the second time I saw it, oh my god!
Waterworks.
Like I think I was watching Iron Man die, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's dying. The whole scene with Peter, crying, that didn't get me.
No.
But it wasn't until Pepper showed up, pushed Spider-Man aside. I was like, hey, this is my man.
I mean,
And
she was nice about it. She lifted
Yeah,
him up
yeah.
and handed him off the roadie.
but then when
essentially.
she's looking at him and she's like, that's it.
you can rest.
You
You
can
can
rest
rest now. We're gonna be okay. She
Yeah,
breaks
that
down.
was a good point. It's
When
like
she broke
we're
down.
okay now.
Yep. And I broke down. Like I'm sitting there and I could just feel the tears just douche. Not even like one tear each eye, like a stream
All
of
of it.
tears.
No single man
And I'm
tear.
sitting
Just-
there and I could just hear the rest of the
It was. I was definitely sad. Like,
Oh my
and there was a
God.
little bit kind of welling up. It wasn't. I've also never been the biggest Iron Man fan.
Yeah.
Especially-
Oh, really?
I mean, Cap.
Okay,
in the scale of Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always, don't get me wrong, Iron Man's great.
Yeah.
But I always leaned
Okay.
toward. I was always Team Cap and
All right.
everything.
All right.
But he again acting muscle. He literally made no facial
No, he
expressions,
did, man. Oh god.
and it just
That's-
he just went away.
Yeah, that was a good death scene. And then we just kept it going where,
You
he's
see
dead.
everybody watching
Then
him.
we're at the cabin and Pepper pulls out the wreath on the water and as soon as they showed the trophy
Yeah.
that she gave him
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
previous movie, proof that Tony has a heart, I started crying even more there. I started crying even more.
That was a
there.
good touch. That
Oh
was a
my
good
God.
touch.
What got me, that hit me, I didn't cry, but what got me was at that scene when they pull back and they show everybody that's there.
Yes.
And the kid.
The kid from part 3 was standing there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's who that was.
That was the kid from part
that
3.
It was the kid from Iron Man 3.
Holy shit! I've been racking my brain both times. I'm like, who the fuck is this kid?
See,
Yeah.
that
What
was
significance did
see
he have?
that was kind of a bit of a misstep too. Partially because that was a reference that nobody was gonna fucking get.
Nobody
unless they
got.
look afterwards.
Nobody. I didn't even get
yeah.
that shit.
I saw it the first time when I
Really?
was watching, and I'm like, oh look.
See,
was
I
like, who
could
the fuck
recognize
is this
it
kid?
because in Iron Man 3, that was in like what, fucking 2013?
Yeah, 'cause
So that's
and also
6
he's
years
standing-
of him growing up.
It's
He looks
every-
so
yeah.
different. He's
It's-
off to the side. It was just
Yes.
It
Well,
was
he's
just-
standing in front of Maria Hill and
Yeah.
who's the other person that's there? It's
Um,
Maria Hill and somebody
fuck,
else.
Yeah,
Because they panned back. They showed the Guardians. They showed everybody.
Everybody was
You
there.
know,
Everybody
they
was
showed the
there.
Ant-Man cast. They showed the Black Panther cast.
which I
They
forgot
showed-
how fucking skinny Benedict Cumberbatch is.
Oh yeah.
Fucking him
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
there in the suit, I'm like, wow,
Yeah,
he's a twig.
He's all cape.
yeah.
But yeah, and then yeah, the scene of Maria Hill, it was somebody else. It was like also a lesser, but then this kid, I'm like, who the fuck is this
yeah,
kid?
it was Iron Man
'Cause
3 kid.
everybody was significant, and I'm like, who is that?
Which is a good touch, but it was
But it
just
was too obscure.
really obscure,
Too
especially
obscure.
for that scene. Like
Yeah.
usually for stuff like that, especially for that scene, you want everybody easily recognizable,
Yes.
easily like you can
Yes.
pick up it. Obviously, some people did. I'm not
Yeah,
smart
I would've
enough for it.
never-
But
I was still
had to.
wondering. I'm
that
like,
was
who
one of
fuck?
the
I'm gonna
things
have to do
that
my research.
And it was my least favorite Iron Man movie. That's the only Iron Man movie that I don't own to this day.
but
in my
it makes
collection.
sense as to why he was in there, and it's
Well,
a
because
nice
the way it
and it's a
ended, when
nice
Iron Man
touch.
3 ended where
Yeah.
Tony Stark got him all that.
Yeah, he got him all the
shit
stuff,
and,
yeah.
and stuff
It's
like
a
that.
nice touch.
It is.
It just was. It was difficult to pick up on.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
And then we get, and so when they're showing all that, like I went from crying, like suppressing my that shit because I don't want to seem like too much of a big baby. Everybody else is just sniffling. I'll sniffle too, and and so my eyes are starting to clear there. And then there's that fucking scene. Oh my god, I'm welling up now.
Oh,
With
Happy
Happy Hogan and
and
the
daughter,
the cheeseburgers.
Burger.
Oh,
like,
my
throwback to-
you
God.
can see him just immediately, just like, hey, like you hungry, and he just, oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
man, it just went right back to it.
That was a
Iron
throwback
Man
to part
with-
1 when he wanted
Yes.
the American cheeseburger.
When he came back, he was like, I want a cheeseburger. And,
Like
he
your
was
dad
like,
liked
"Get all the
cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was just hit
Good
me
line.
again.
Good line.
Oh,
Like-
it was a good scene. Just
It was
that,
super simple.
fuck, man.
Like how do we fucking twist the knife a
Let's
little
twist
bit
the knife a
more?
little more in your fucking heart.
That was a scene, and I'm sorry, that was a scene that you could have put up there with any dramatic movie out now.
It's just-
and it
oh,
would have hit
God,
you
it
the
was
same way.
So
Yeah.
touching.
Again, it was just well
Also,
done.
thank God they
Yeah.
got a child actor who didn't suck either.
Yeah.
That kid did
Yeah.
a great job.
She did.
Like, and I wonder if she
even the
knows.
part, part when he figured out time travel. He's like shit. She's like shit.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's
no,
like, don't say that. She's like,
that's
shit?
mommy's word.
Yeah, that's mommy's word. She owns the
Mommy's
copyright to it. He was like, what are you doing? I'm working on some shit. Like, you're right. You're right. The little actress that played
Like
her
she did a good job with
yeah.
that. Which
Oh
makes
my
I
God.
wonder if she knew what the fuck movie she was in. She's
Nah, yeah,
young enough.
That's the girl when she grows
Yeah.
up. She's
She's
gonna be like,
oh man,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
Tony Stark's daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, even the scene too when they showed like his hologram when he was saying his farewell
yes.
talk and the "Love You 3000." Oh my god. Oh
Which
my
is
god.
totally a reference to the Iron Man
I
3000.
was gonna say, yeah, that's a reference to the fucking exercise machine.
Which
and
of all
then
the things to make a reference to.
I know of all things. And then then we got the Cap going
This
back
is
to
the scene
put
that
back all the
my gripe
Infinity
is.
Stones.
What
This
was
is
it?
your gripe.
This is my gripe because it's
Okay.
literally the last fucking scene.
All right. Well, you know
And
What
what?
is it?
Let's let you take it
Especially-
because I
all
want
right.
to hear
So
this.
especially with, again, as I said before, Cap is I'm saying he's the main character in this movie.
Yeah.
He is the fucking guiding force
Yes.
through all of it.
Yes.
And then this is what they do with the end of story. All right, so first off, they're sending him back to put all the stones back.
Mhm.
This such a giant plot hole. Where like, okay, first off, how the fuck's he gonna get this the space stone back in the Tesseract? That shit's gone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have it in there. It's not in the Tesseract anymore. Like if they had shown it in the suitcase back in the Tesseract, so they must have taken it out to put it on the gauntlet. Fine. How the fuck did he know the ins and outs of exactly where things were and what they were? Because he wasn't on all three fucking teams.
He took however long he needed to
Remember, they
put
have that
everything-
they
figure everything
program
out.
that quantum
the
GPS, to
GPS,
take
but
them
the
back
thing
to
is,
the
he
same
just
time.
didn't know the ins and outs of how the fuck the Power Stone got taken, how
Yeah.
the fuck the other stone got. Like he just didn't know.
Maybe
Again,
he got prepped on it
he-
before.
I would gonna wager that he did, but again, this now we're building up a whole bunch of little things that were wrong
Yeah.
with this scene.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I took from that, because I thought they were going to kill Captain America.
I thought
Yeah.
they were too.
Everybody.
This
thought.
was one of my two ways that he was gonna. I thought he was gonna die, or this ending was going to happen.
But
Yeah.
this ending leaves it because remember, this movie had to do a lot with time travel.
yes,
Yeah.
and I
So by him taking the stones and using the
And going
quantum thing to go back, and then like growing old and with
Mhm.
Agent Carter and all that other shit, it leaves it for future movies
Wait, downplay
to
that
totally
ending.
use it.
for him to possibly come
I
back.
wanted this
Yeah.
to be the ending. I wanted him to get his happy ending. It's the way that they went about it. It was the problem. Like, okay, so first off, they're all saying goodbye to him like he's fucking dying. They didn't do this for anybody else. For like when they're
Yeah.
going back and like going in time, like, all right, see you in a few, and then that was it. Whereas this one is like, see you, man. But like, it was like he was dying. So I was like,
Well,
oh,
I mean, he was like 90 years old, man.
no, like before he went through time.
Oh,
Like him and Sam and Bucky are going like they're like taking all this like they're like throwing it
okay,
out,
I
and it's
see
just
what you're
like
saying, almost like they knew that he
well,
was gonna.
that's how they. And I think Bucky knew.
I think I was gonna say
Yeah.
Bucky.
Bucky, I
knew.
think knew.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why, especially at the end, like, go ahead, like he knew because he knew Steve best. Just odd. And again,
Yeah.
like there's just a whole bunch of things that are starting to make this feel weird. Okay,
Mhm.
he boom doesn't come back. I knew that was going to happen at that point.
Yeah.
This rules of time travel that they made themselves didn't apply to this scene. If he had come back on the platform as an old man, okay,
Yeah.
but he didn't. Instead, he was just fucking over there. No suit.
because he remembered when he left.
He
so
remembered to
he
come back,
showed
but
up,
they
yeah.
always said the future is not the future anymore, right? So for him to fucking come back and just be there,
because the only future he changed was his.
but he changed all the stones.
He put all the stones back to where they originally were, so they were never taken to begin with. But it just goes back to what they said: the future doesn't change if you change things in the past.
But that
So,
means that there has to have been a Captain America in all of the other stories.
yes,
Which means that, okay, so now we've got that. Like, she did
So
allude to
basically
having a
after-
husband.
basically to everything that happened. Like every time somebody got a stone, then I would imagine a second or two later, Captain America shows up.
Pull
Like,
up.
all right, let me put this back here,
Yeah.
and let me put this back here, and let me put this back.
I mean,
here.
that's what it would literally have to have been. But
Yeah.
again, for him to, then he shows up over there and it's just like, okay. Like, again, they're not following your own rules
Yeah.
very well, which they did a good job of like, these are the rules.
yeah, they did.
And they were hammering that home the whole time. So then at the very end for them to go,
Eh.
meh. And then it just is very against Captain America's character.
That's the one thing. See, that's the one thing that
That I can even go with the fucking time travel thing. Like I could put it, but the fact is like, so you're not telling me that not only did Cap go, I'm done without telling anybody, but then also sit through time where Bucky is running around as a Hydra agent. He's not helping Bucky. Hydra's taking over S.H.I.E.L.D. Fucking the Starks were killed brutally by Bucky, and Cap was just living the high life. Like, I'm finally getting my time. November.
Well, there's no
Yeah.
saying that he doesn't still become Captain America. They just said that he ended up with.
No.
Agent Carter.
No, he already went through all that. All that happened.
Like he knows how it ends,
They
but
got
you're
to that
telling me
point.
that he's not gonna like he's just gonna sit there knowing that Bucky is going through what 60, 70 years worth of pain. It doesn't matter that it's gonna end eventually. It's Cap. He's going to do it just because that is what
I
they
get
always
it.
say like
He's the ultimate
sometimes
good guy. He's the
sometimes
ultimate
I
good
wish
guy.
sometimes if I see something going wrong, I have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I didn't. No, you don't. You're right. I don't. Like they literally it's just so, and especially in the rest of the movie, he's the one who always fucking again the shield buckling
Yeah.
scene. Like
Yeah.
he is the leader, and then he does that at the end.
But it's like like
It's-
he said. I wanted to try out this life thing that Tony talks
I
about.
wanted
Yeah.
that to be his ending because that is either you kill him or you give him his happy ending.
Yes.
Tony got his happy ending because he had his 5 years with
He had
his
his 5
family,
years,
and
yeah.
then he got to finally, end it his way. It was just, again, I wanted it to happen. It's how they did it. Like, if they brought it back at least on the platform, or even, God, like they could have done it a little bit smoother. Like, just kind of fix a little bit of those details.
Yeah. You know what?
It-
They did it. They did it to gives you some emotional heft and
Yeah,
because it would have been cheesy to have him pop up on the platform like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm
Yeah.
90 years old. Hey, here's your shield. I don't want to do this anymore.
Hey, heads up. I quit.
Yeah.
Heads up, like the old
It's-
Coke commercial
Yeah.
with the T-shirt.
Like, shit.
Thanks, Steve Rogers.
One thing I liked about, again, another thing that we didn't really talk about that I caught is, did you notice how Captain America's suit in this movie was more prevalent to his suit in the comic books now?
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
little fish scales.
Yeah, with
yeah.
the
Yeah,
scales
his
on the
suit was
thing.
great.
Like the chain link
Everybody's
almost?
suit was closer. Like Iron Man's suit was like the OG Iron Man suit
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
yellow on the arms and the
And-
legs.
You know who almost made a cameo in this movie? They were thinking about putting it into this movie,
Who?
but they Black Knight.
Oh, really?
They said they were thinking about putting him into this movie,
Interesting.
but they chose to do him. They haven't said when, but he's a character they're gonna bring in down the line.
Huh. Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I don't know when. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Watching the movie, where would you have fit him in
Yeah,
this?
no,
You know?
nowhere.
Maybe the portals. That's about it. The portals. I was waiting
probably.
for the fucking X-Men to roll out during the portals.
That would have
Oh
been, that
my
would've been
God.
fucking crazy.
The only
rock
thing
hard.
That would have
would've
been,
made-
you know what? That would have been, it wouldn't have been because then that would have overshadowed everything else. I would have said, I was going to say that would have been the perfect spot for a Hugh Jackman Wolverine cameo.
Oh,
But you know what? Just with all those heroes.
Yeah, no,
but
it was
the one thing that I wish would have happened if they had gotten the rights sooner, which would have ended the movie, but you would have gotten a little laugh at the end, which was a lot of people saying that they should go back and do a reshoot where after everything is settled, Deadpool shows up at the end. He's like, "Oh shit,
I missed it
the
all."
battle,"
I missed it. I'm here, guys.
You know,
Also, quick side note: I would have never thought the final battle would be at Avengers compound. Like, it's always
eventually
in.
they were gonna have to give it something because you only saw it here and there. They never really
you
did
see
much
it in the movies, like
Yeah.
this movie especially. You see it a lot,
Yeah.
and then like Civil War, it's always there. It's
Mhm.
like a constant in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Did not think that was going to be the final battleground,
Yeah.
I remember this time Thanos did what Tony Stark wanted to do to him.
where he went to his literally
Tony
went
Stark
to his home.
Titan.
Yeah.
So this time Thanos came to where they were. He brought the fight to them because
Yeah,
they weren't
it's-
expecting it.
No, it was. They totally were. Like literally, they weren't expecting. Boom. It was. But no, that was my one gripe with the movie.
Just even
But-
now talking, breaking down the movie, man. I'm as excited now as when I saw the movie.
Oh, once again, and the only reason that scene bumps me out is because it's literally the last scene.
Yeah.
Like it's the last thing that's the closest to my present
well,
memory
really,
of it.
the last scene was when
Is them
is he
dancing.
well, yeah, but then before that is when he asked him, "So you want to tell me about her?"
Yep.
And he's
Nope.
like, "No,
Not at all.
not at all."
Which is like fair enough. All right,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah,
Okay,
fair
I
enough.
gotcha. And then they showed that he got his dance.
It was a-
He got his dance.
He got his
He got
dance.
his dance that he wanted.
That was the one thing that was a common thread throughout the movies. You know,
Yeah.
He got well, and then again, he's the main character. That's how it ends.
That's
Boom,
it.
fade to black.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, was that like he was the main character in that movie? Well, he was the first Avenger. He was the Avenger.
Yeah.
So
That was so good.
anyway,
That was so
that
good.
movie was so good. I can't wait to see it again.
I know. You know what? Me
I
too.
do want to see
What,
it.
what is it? I think you're gonna see it a couple more times, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna see it at least two or
this
three
is
more
one.
times.
This is one that you're gonna go see
Yeah.
a
At
couple
least
times.
2 or 3 more times.
Yep.
Like I'm waiting to see how much of a break I have tomorrow at work. I can maybe go and catch it.
Go snag. Oh, this is my noon showing. I'll
Yeah.
go again at 5.
Yeah.
Wait,
dude.
what time of day is it?
Oh my god.
This is my morning show.
So
This
I
one,
mean, it was everything. It was everything I expected it to be, and more,
and more,
honestly,
and
It is
more.
li- It is
And
literally
more.
that
The-
final battle. I cried when everybody showed
This is
up.
the one thing,
Everybody.
and the one
Literally my childhood.
Yeah.
Like you got all your action figures out now, and you're just
That's it.
beating them
Yeah.
against each other.
I mean, you with your big Marvel hero collection. It was basically all your toys fighting each other.
after that movie,
Yeah.
I went to Walmart.
Uh-huh.
By happenstance, they had just put out the Endgame display. I bought all the figures that built Thanos in his fucking armor.
No shit.
So I have Thanos in his armor from this movie, and I have the Build-A-Figure Thanos from
That's
Infinity
awesome.
War.
That's awesome.
So now I gotta look, and I want to build my fucking war
do
scene.
it, man. Do it.
'Cause
Do it.
again, you know, like you said, you know me. I got a huge collection.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Your collection is vast.
So it's
I like it. Oh, so anyway, the thing I was alluding to with Tony.
Yes.
First Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play.
Yeah.
You're not the guy to jump on the wire.
Yes.
You finally
He did it.
proved
I'm the guy to
Steve
cut
wrong.
the wire.
He
Yeah,
did it.
you
He proved him
finally
wrong.
proved Steve wrong.
Yep.
And I don't think he would. I still, until that
If it
conversation
hadn't
with his
been-
dad,
exactly.
he
That's-
would not have been able to
That's
do
why
that.
Doctor Strange knew
Everything.
everything that happened exactly the way it
Scott
was
Lang
supposed
being
to.
in the quantum realm.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it. And the thing is, I don't think Scott was supposed to like. If everybody says like he went to the quantum realm to survive, I don't think he was meant to die during the snap. I think he was just meant to there to realize time has moved differently.
Yeah, I mean,
when he came out.
That's what I mean. Yeah, because if he was meant to go, whether he was in the quantum realm or not,
He was just super
he would have
small.
been-
He
would
still
have
existed.
Been, yeah, he would have been extinguished from the
Yeah.
snap. So
Yeah.
he wasn't meant to die anyway.
No, but literally everything. And he finally he made the sacrifice play. He did it.
He did.
He done did it.
jumped on the grenade.
He jumped on the grenade.
And the other one, we don't trade lives.
Yes,
They finally do it. This
Yes.
movie is about sacrifice versus self-sacrifice.
That's right.
Thanos is
That's
all
right.
about sacrificing other people.
Yep.
This one, they're all about Black Widow, like
Mhm.
in the Infinity Gauntlet, like who's put on? I'll put it on. No, I'll put it on.
Yeah.
It's all about themselves doing it.
Yep.
Tony does it.
Yeah.
Like it's
The whole thing with Vision and Scarlet Witch and in Infinity War was the
Yep.
same deal.
It was,
You know?
we have to sacrifice other people.
Yes.
Not, and this one was all about ourselves. They finally started doing it,
They did.
but in their own way.
Yep.
Oh,
Agreed. Oh,
This movie had, I think, everybody emotionally
I feel.
drained.
I
oh yeah, it
feel,
fucked me up.
And then the funny part about this shit is we're gonna be emotionally drained fucking tonight too.
You're right. Game of Thrones.
So we're getting a 1-2 punch.
Oh yeah, it says like it's.
We'll
is
talk
this
about
it?
that. We'll talk
I
about
know,
that in the
I'm
next
just- I'm just
episode.
throwing
What,
that out
what
there.
episode is it? Is this the last one?
No, this
this
is the third episode.
Third
Battle of
There's only
Winterfell.
6
Out
episodes.
of 6, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
The big
yeah. So
battle
this
one.
is.
And every episode, the first 2 episodes were only an hour long. Every episode now is going to be an hour and a half.
So it's a movie now at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm saying, but that movie, man, like I said, I was on a little high the whole fucking time after that movie.
Oh, like
I
even
got home and my fiance and I were talking about it. Like,
Yeah.
"Damn, did you
even
see this,
talking
this?"
about it now, I just feel. Oh.
Doesn't it make you want to go and see it again? Like, right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know how much this movie was good to me is like I finally started playing my story games again.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I've never I was always been playing multiplayer lately. Like no, I want something. I want more. I want more of the hurt.
Oh,
Give
There
it
you
to me.
go. My heart doesn't hurt enough.
And
I
then
haven't lost enough
yeah,
yet.
and then those credits. Talk
Yeah.
about going
Oh,
out
yeah.
with the classiest way they
Yeah.
possibly could
Yeah.
have.
That was they did the same thing with Star Trek. Star Trek, it was the last. I think it was either the last movie with the original cast or the last movie with the Next Generation cast. They did the thing where they showed their names and they did the autograph.
It might have
the,
been.
the,
It might have
N-
been
the
one of the
NBA,
stars.
the NBA fucking
The
Yeah.
thing.
last movie of the Star Trek was the Undiscovered Country, which was horrible.
Yeah, you're right.
It was
So it
horrible.
was it
Yes.
was probably the Next Generation movie.
But that was and then and they went through literally everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody who
Everybody.
It wasn't a
anybody
credits.
who had anything to do
Jesus
with those
Christ.
fucking
It
movies.
wasn't a credits for that movie. It was a credits for the Infinity,
The whole
arc,
saga.
the whole
The whole
2022.
saga.
was the best way to fucking end that.
Yeah.
It was about the past. It wasn't about all right, what movie's next? What movie's next?
And
No.
that's the thing I like is that they never hinted at anything that was going to happen towards the future.
Nope.
They never talked.
The only
about
thing was
anything.
Gamora.
Everything they talked about. Oh, and speaking of that, now that we can talk about it, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
How because everybody had their little scenes after.
Yeah.
And Star-Lord was looking for Gamora
Yeah.
on the screen, so that's going to be in chapter 3.
Yep.
But again, everybody
Or
had
will
their
it?
thing.
Yeah, who
Huh?
knows?
Or will it?
Should.
Who
hopefully.
knows?
Yeah.
I mean, they say it could be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, Guardians of the Galaxy are my favorite Marvel movies. But I mean, with Part 3, I'm super stoked about Part 3 because Thor is going to be in it,
Yeah.
which I loved Ragnarok.
I want to see him in a straight up comedy now, which
Yeah.
is what this is going to be. Like,
Yep.
this is going to be.
That's because
all out.
Yeah, Ragnarok was in the same vein of Guardians. So I
Yeah.
mean, and then we're dealing with all the cosmic. I mean, I've talked about it a bunch of
They're
times.
definitely looking up now.
the cosmic side of
They're
the
definitely
MCU.
looking up.
And we got the Guardians of the Galaxy with Thor. One of the plot is going to be Gamora, searching for Gamora. Another one is the end credit scene with Adam Warlock.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
hopefully
he's supposed to
they'll
be
do Adam
in
Warlock.
3.
So we'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. Like,
Or
I'm
at least that was
stoked for this.
the original idea. Who
Yeah.
knows what the hell that's gone with
Well, I
now.
mean, James Gunn wrote the script for the third one, and he's coming back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
to direct it, so he's gonna get to finish his trilogy, which is gonna be awesome.
Like I said, this movie again, it was, dude. I can't say enough good things about it. Anybody who
Yes.
doesn't like this movie
it was a
is
great anything
You're shit. If you don't like this movie, you're shit.
Negative, I have to say, totally
you
outweighed.
can nitpick because again, every movie you're
You
gonna
can
have
nitpick
something.
You can
Yeah.
nitpick, but
Nitpick
it was
anything.
totally outweighed.
Oh,
Totally.
Positives totally outweigh the
I will
negatives.
go to see
Absolutely.
that movie again just to see everybody have their big dick walking out of the
Yeah.
fucking portal moment.
Yep.
I just
Oh, that
just
Marvel dick
when-
all
when-
over the place.
When Black Panther walked in, I'm like, of course. Why they have the black guy walking like a pimp?
Hell yeah.
With
Yeah,
two
but
black
I mean,
women
if-
next
With
to
his
him.
hose.
With his hose.
Hell
One of which
yeah.
is his sister.
Yeah.
But and then they just like everybody just strolled out like, yeah,
Yep.
we're here.
We're gonna do this.
Let's go.
Oh,
We're gonna
man.
do this.
And everybody came out from the portal they were supposed to be from. Like they came from
Mhm.
Titan, they came from the
Yep,
Wakanda
yep,
portals.
Yep.
Like that was a nice touch. Like just a blink and you miss it, but you see it in the background.
Oh yeah.
And then the final stinger. This kind of got me a
Oh
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Okay, I know
Where
what
it
you're talking
just-
about.
it just
Are you talking about
played-
the sound effect?
It just played the Marvel logo, but with the hammer
Yep.
hitting over the sound.
Yep.
Again, looking to the
Everything.
past.
Full circle, man.
Looking
Full
to the
circle.
past. Oh,
Well, I'm relieved.
I feel like I just ate a big meal. again.
We
Like,
talked about it.
Yes.
We're good.
We worked it out.
We got it out of our systems.
I've been waiting and
been
haven't
cured.
told anybody about this fucking movie.
I was
Ah.
so happy that this was happening today because
Yeah.
I needed to work some shit
You
out.
did. You did. You did. I texted you right after I watched it for the second time yesterday.
I almost texted you and just like I tell a few friends like literally like still just kind of.
I mean, did you see the Facebook post with Micah and Drew? With Drew when they went to go see it on Friday, literally
Drew's
Drew posted a
makeup
picture.
was just-
Her makeup
Oh.
just ran because she was crying so much.
Oh, and I totally get it. Like I did. What
You're speechless.
Yeah,
I
see?
literally was like because everything was said.
Yeah.
They somehow managed to get all of it.
All of it. All of it. And
All of it.
every geek moment you could have ever thought of happening on the screen, every character you thought would have interacted with each other,
Yep.
crossed paths, they
Yep.
all did in
Yep.
this one
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
movie.
They
Like we
did
said,
it. And they
everybody had
did
their
it
moment.
well.
Because even in Infinity War, remember, you had groups of people. Not everybody was
Nobody
really
was together.
interacting.
Mhm.
This one, they fought as
The entire
Marvel
and they finally
universe.
did it. They fought as one.
Yes.
They finally did it. The entire fucking MCU shows up.
Everybody.
If they weren't dead already, they were there.
Yes.
Like I was fucking Daredevil's gonna show up at some fucking point and just roll in.
Yeah.
It just
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that.
No.
You know,
No.
that's the one thing. I think that's my one gripe out of all these movies and everything is that how they didn't integrate any of the Netflix characters.
There was an idea they had written into
Are you talking about the Luke
script.
Cage one?
They're gonna have Luke Cage come out in Infinity War. When they first came to New York,
yeah.
they were gonna work Luke Cage,
That
but then
would have
they
made
thought,
sense.
but they thought that the fans wouldn't appreciate it. What the fuck?
Yeah,
yes,
they
we
would have totally
would.
appreciated
would've
it.
appreciated
Luke
it.
Cage, even if you hadn't seen the show, he's recognizable enough to
Yeah.
be like, oh fuck, it's Luke
Yeah.
Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or if fucking Daredevil showed up out of nowhere, like those are two characters that maybe not Jessica Jones because she's just wearing a fucking jean jacket, but like
Yeah.
those are characters like that yellow shirt and the horns. Like, yeah, you could have fucking noticed that.
You could have done something. I mean, it's just, they didn't acknowledge any of the Agents of Shield. Like
No.
it's just like it's weird. Like the TV shows acknowledge the movies, but the movies
don't
never
do it.
acknowledge the TV shows
Yeah.
ever. And that was a little bit of a sore spot for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which just shows why why I never caught up with Agents of Shield and
it seemed
after a
pointless.
while I was just done with the Marvel
Well, after
Netflix shows.
after Age of Ultron, there's no really reason because after Age of Ultron, they stopped crossing over into the movies and anything. So
Yeah.
That's because at that point they had to be fucking careful what the hell they put in there.
Yeah.
Because everything after that was Infinity War.
no, because at that point when they were doing Age of Shield, they were trying to do the Inhumans movie.
And all
So
that.
they went into that whole
yeah.
storyline. Then that fell apart,
Ooh.
and they wasted like
Wow.
a season and a half
Yeah.
on that bullshit.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that crappy TV show.
Yeah. That TV show sucked.
That TV show was fucking bad. Her hair.
Oh, they
Her
cut
hair.
off in the first episode.
Medusa, your big
Oh,
power
this
is your
stupid.
hair, but you know what we're gonna do?
We're gonna shave
We're
your
gonna
head
cut it
bald.
Because we don't feel like doing that,
Yeah,
CG.
no, it's too expensive. It's not
in the
proven
budget.
yet.
It's
Yep,
not
not
in
in
the
the budget,
budget.
even though it's Disney. Oh, all right. Well, I think. Do we have anything else?
I think we've emotionally let all of our
Yeah,
baggage
we've
I
out.
feel
exhausted
a lot
everything.
better now.
We're better now.
Yeah.
We're better now.
Yes,
We're not.
yes.
We're back empty again.
We're empty again.
That's
this is
good.
a long one too. So
This
we
was
took
a long one.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going to be about a 2-hour-long episode.
That's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Well, guys,
We're an hour
you're
under
welcome.
the movie.
You're welcome. You just got anything. If you wanted to talk about things that you were thinking that we vocalized, you're welcome.
Yeah,
So that's it. I think that's all we got, right?
that's it. And don't get pissed and hit us up for spoiling it because we warned you guys in the beginning. It was going to be chock
This
full
is
of
literally
spoilers.
another
Yeah.
fucking episode. So if you get
Literally,
spoiled, by
literally.
this-
So
All
And the
right, we
first-
spent 30 minutes fucking biting our tongues.
Yes.
So that way we wouldn't spoil it for you.
the
fucking
first
guys.
word in the title for this will be spoilers. Spoilers.
Exactly.
So
That's it. That's it. All right. Well, we you guys got 2 episodes. So thank you for listening.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah, we're the Geeks That Lift. So you can actually, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, anything, hit us up on social media. You can actually find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can also email us at geeksthatlift@gmail.com. And if you want to listen to us, which you're already listening to us, let your friends know they can find us anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. So that's it. That's all we got. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We are the Geeks That Lift. I am Coco Nut, followed by,
The freaking Rican.
and we got our special guest, White IT Guy.
I'm Pat.
Hope you enjoyed. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace.